You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collective. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather around the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna listen, treat, gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song, gonna break it down, gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collective. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather around the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. It is the PlayStation Collectors Podcast, Season 4, Episode 6. My name is Joe Rad. How you doing? And with me, as always, my illustrious co-host from all the way down under, Mr. Figsy. How you doing, buddy?
How's it going, everyone?
And then joining us tonight as our special guest, coming all the way from Alaska. Boy, we are all over the world tonight, let me tell you. We have Mr. Firm from TheCollectiveGaming. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Glad to be here.
Welcome,
to the
fam.
channel. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Firm? Just introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us, like, what do you like to collect, and what kind of got you into collecting to begin with?
Well, collecting, I've always wanted to do that, but I've never actually took the time to do it. So, a few years back, I decided to do it. I got lucky on a Dreamcast score. I got a Dreamcast and a couple of games. And clearly it has been nothing but downhill from here. I have so many,
It spiraled
so
quickly.
much money. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I decided to make a YouTube channel, because I thought it'd be cool to, showcase all the games that I've gotten and, share some tips, things that I've learned along the way.
Very cool. Yeah, it can kind of
Awesome.
start off with it's like a gambling habit. If you buy your first scratch ticket and you hit $500,
Yes.
you'll be chasing that high forever now.
Mhm. It's like gambling, but you don't technically really lose.
No.
You only lose if the value goes down. Then that kind of sucks.
I've had
You lose if you bought a Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster at eBay prices. Those people just lost recently.
Yeah, we've had some heavy hitters get announced recently in the PS4 world, which is why it's very dangerous to collect for. So, but before we get into that main topic, I want to stick on what's it like to collect in Alaska? I'm just curious. Is there a big scene out there?
It's hard. There's a handful of people that do it.
Mhm.
And so they've kind of really just picked apart a lot of the areas, like the Goodwills, that kind of stuff. They're just it's a wasteland. So it is really hard, but we do, I end up getting lucky a lot on Facebook. Somebody will sell something and then I'll just ask them hey, is there anything else you,
Smart.
weren't really thinking about selling, but are? And yeah. And then every now and then you get extremely lucky.
Smart.
Nice.
Yeah. Asking questions is a very important part about marketplace and stuff like that. You could if you're buying a game, just when you're there saying you got anything else you want to sell, any other games, I always recommend saying that. Or, hey, I buy games all the time. I always tell people I buy games all the time. So if you come across something in the future, you in the garage or something, you can give me a call. Here's my number. If you have a friend, family member, same thing, your cousin, sometimes you'll never know. Sometimes I'm going to be yeah, actually, my cousin's got, my sister's got a whole bunch of stuff at the house she doesn't use. So maybe I'll give you a call. So it's always definitely a good idea to just mention that this isn't just like a one-time deal, and you're interested in buying more stuff for sure.
Yes.
And just on that, like it rarely works out. Like 99% of the time, or 80% of the time they won't call you. The one time they do call you, like 99% of the time, it's crap. I've got these games, it's just crap. But there will be that one time when it's worth it. It's awesome.
That's 100% true. Like at my work, I always mention that to people. Like for a while, I was like in the hiring department, so I got to like every new person that came in there, I got to be like, hey, just so you know, you want to sell some games? I used to tell literally everyone who came into the door, but I don't do that anymore, so it's not as good. But throughout the years, I've definitely got some people being like, yeah, what's it worth? And I always have to be like, unfortunately, nothing, because what you have is what everyone has, and it's not worth anything. But every once in a while, you'll come up with cool stuff. Like, remember that time I got my brother-in-law gave me all those manuals. Do you remember I showed you all those manuals? There was like some Pokemon manuals in there that were worth like there was like a Pokemon Emerald manual, and there was some valuable manuals in there. So I was like, this was actually kind of cool. So
yeah, Emerald manual. Yes, that's not a cheap one.
No, and of course I was just like, you got the games? Where are the games? Go look. Where are they? I need the games that go with these manuals, bro. Because he had a lot of games I wished I had. He just had manuals, didn't have the games, so it was kind of a bummer. And also what drove me crazy is they were in like perfect condition, every single one of them. So I'm like, oh man, where are these games? If the games are in this kind of shape too, like please. But he's like, oh, I don't know, no idea. Like,
yeah, they're not in good shape if you don't know where they are.
They're probably just sitting there in a box somewhere in the basement, and nobody knows. Nobody wants to look. It's all right. I don't want to think about it.
Feel that pain.
It's like people back in the 90s were different. Like they could have got the game, threw the box out, put the manuals aside. If you ever need instructions, here's all the help, and here's your toy. That's what my parents did for Lego. You know, we keep the manuals. If you never need to build them again, throw the boxes out, and all your Lego goes in the box. And that's just how it was.
Yep. When I was a kid, we threw away all our NES boxes. And we used to keep all the NESs in just the little black sleeve things. And then we had like a little holder for them.
Yep.
And yeah, stuff makes me sad. But I don't want to get into that. I've talked about my selling regrets a million times. We'll start talking about the Atari again. All the stuff I sold.
I'm just looking around your game room, man. So many things have been catching my eye. The WWE belt, the Kingdom Hearts play. There's so many cool things behind you.
Yes.
Even that antique cabinet is beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. That Keyblade, actually, when I bought that, I was like, holy crap. Like, I bought it from Square Enix, and it was mega cheap. It was only like $50. I was like, damn, what a steal. And I'm like, damn, like, why is this so cheap? Like for a big life-size one. And then when it got here, I was like, no way.
The store where I used to live actually do sell life-size ones, but they're like 200 Australian, and then if you ever ship it to the US, it'd probably be like another 100. But if you want me to organize it, I could probably organize you one. So.
Oh man, if you could do that, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Have you got either
back up there?
Have either of you ever seen Spinal Tap, the movie? It's kind of an old movie, but like there's this
rings a bell, to be honest.
It's like I think it was made in like the 70s. It's like an old like spoof comedy about being in a rock band, and it's like, what, you ever heard that joke like, my amp goes to 11, and they're like, why doesn't it go? Because it goes to 11. It's not 10. Anyway, they do this skit in there where they order a Stonehenge. They want to build like for a big stage piece, right? And it's supposed to be, they write it down like on a napkin and they give it to the guy. And it's supposed to be like 11 feet tall or whatever. But the guy, like, it got like smushed or messed up or whatever. So when he delivered it, it's only 11 inches tall. And so they're like, what the hell is this, mate? And it's like, that's your Stonehenge. He's like, what are we supposed to do with this on stage? And so they do the show and they have this little tiny Stonehenge and they're all like dancing around. It's so stupid. But when you said the thing about the key, that was like exactly all I could think of. Was that a perfect situation where you're like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And it's like,
yes. I still played with it. I look ridiculous, but I play with it.
It still works though. Like if it was huge, it wouldn't work where it is. You know, you'd have to take a lot of the amiibos down or something. But it would be awesome. It just reminds me of like anything off Temu. Like you buy something off Temu,
Yeah, right.
it's a rug, and it arrives, and in the photo there's a dog, but it's like a miniature dog that looks like a big dog, and the rug's like this fucking big, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is we have Keyblade at home. That's what this is.
There's a viral post too about some guy who ordered like a Mandalorian helmet. And it's supposed to be like this sick metallic helmet. It's like really expensive. His like girlfriend bought it for him for his birthday or something. He's like, and this is what showed up. It's like this little plastic sack piece of rubber. It was like total garbage.
It's like a Lego piece.
This thing looked like a pool toy you would blow up. It was so like that cheap plastic. Like, oh man, it was good stuff. So would you say you primarily like collect Nintendo stuff, or are you kind of all over the map, or?
Honestly,
a lot of
I can
amiibos.
get my hands on. Yeah. That's kind of been a little bit of a quest as of lately. Like I bought one of my buddy's collections, and he sold me a ton of amiibos. And so that kind of like reignited the spark I needed to, go after it again. So I'm not going for every single amiibo, but I am going for every Smash amiibo, and then like a couple of special ones here and there, like the Zeldas, some of the Animal Crossing, Splatoon. So yeah, I got a lot. I have so many that I ran out of wall. Yeah.
Oh,
my issue is I like them box, so I'm not going to collect them because look how much room they take up.
Yes.
I couldn't have them loose. So I'd have to have them all box, and it's too much. I'm an all or nothing type collector. No, it'd be like a whole room. So I don't touch pops. I don't touch amiibos.
No, pops are insane. Like that's one thing I can't do.
World.
I have one, and it is the Luffy Going Merry amiibo pop, and I bought it because my older brother is a One Piece fan, and so I did this to spite him.
Oh, that's how I thought that was going. I got this for a gift for him for his wedding, but no, actually, no, it's total spite.
If you ever forget to get him a present one year, you've always got a backup. So,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. So, see, I'm the opposite. Like, I'm all about space and stuff. Like, I'm like when I go for games specifically, I usually always go for the standard editions, like preferably over like the big collector's editions, which is weird because as a collector, people are like, why? I'm like, because I just need space, dude. I don't have space. Like I bought this. Look at this Baldur's Gate. Jesus, what the? I gotta have a whole bookcase for this thing. It's so big. It's like, and it's cool and everything, but like I can't be buying a bunch of stuff like that. It's too much. So I'm always about trying to get like the small stuff. So if I did the amiibos, I would definitely go for open ones, like, and try to save money and do that. Also, like, I was thinking about getting some toys, which I don't know if I should do this, boys. I think this is a Pandora's box I'm opening. I don't know if I should open it, but there's some toys. I've been looking into buying some little figurines and stuff like that. Just a couple here and there. I kind of want, a couple here and there.
That's how it starts, Joe.
I know.
That's how it starts.
Dude, I also did something else.
Next thing you'll know, you'll be on the street going, I just need some toys.
and we got some Ninja Turtles.
I do have one toy. I don't know if you guys want to see this real quick.
Oh, hell yeah.
But he's a little dusty, but you guys recognize this guy?
Oh, yeah. Legend of Dragoon, baby.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I was
man.
I just realized a few years ago that they made toys. Like they had a whole line of toys for these guys, and they were mega expensive. So I went with one of the open ones. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to be using this very much. I just need this to look good. And there's Dart. There's Dusty Dart.
Dusty Dart.
Yeah.
Speaker was asking if you've got the Chibi Robo amiibo.
Oh yeah, you see that? Oh wait, yeah, it's right there. You see that? I don't know if you can see it.
He can. Apparently, Mr. Eagle Eye.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that looks so.
That was one of the ones that my buddy sold me.
Very cool. So I think you have that's a reasonable approach to collecting stuff like that. It's like trying to go for the full set of stuff. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's if you're committed and you're on that journey, God bless you. I admire the effort. But like for me, a lot of the times that's overwhelming. So I just I'm like you said, you're like, I'm just gonna get all the Smash ones. Like that's what I would do. I do stuff like that. I go for like little subsets, or like I build like a list in my mind of like a complete list of what I want to get before I start collecting it. So hopefully I don't go too crazy. It doesn't really always work, but
see, like, funny you say that, Joe, because I agree with that. But I had so much fun collecting a full set, and now I'm collecting a subset of like a big set of games, and I'm having so much fun going down the journey and crossing things off the list again. And
no, I
the journey's almost more fun than the end game.
Oh, it is, especially with full set, I think, because like every like a lot of those games that you pick up, it's fun to get them, but then when you have them, you don't really want to play them. You're like, this isn't as fun owning them and not. But it was fun collecting them. So, like you said, it is more about the experience. So.
Yeah, I had fun buying SingStar games. I don't have fun looking at them on the wall, you know.
Huh?
Oh, you have no idea. You should see.
I had 80 SingStar games for PS3. I have the full set.
Yeah.
They made 80 of them.
They made more than that.
What?
Yeah, and then all the Buzz games. Don't forget all the Buzz games.
Yeah, it gets worse. And
yeah, so he collected a full PS3 set, like at one point, like worldwide. He had like full PAL, and then would you have like even like Asian English exclusives and like American
everything that was English. So every English release in the world.
Yeah.
How many games is that? Like,
it's hard to put it in a number because everyone's like, do you include the Game of the Year editions? Do you not? Do you include these? Do you not? So variants. I had 2,300 PS3 games at one point, like no duplicates. Everything was different. It's now down to it'd be hard to put a number on it. Probably between like 15 and 1,700 today. I sold off a lot of stuff. I sold off a lot of like. I was variant collecting, so I was buying like all the variants, and I got to a point where I didn't enjoy looking at like 5 games the same on the shelf, even though they were different. You know, the average person would come in my game room and be like, "Why do you have 4 of them?" And I have to be like, "Oh, this has got a sticker on it, and this has got a date different on the disc." And I realized that I didn't like that, so I went through and just like kept the best copy, which would be like the one with all the DLC, or the most complete copy, or if one was rarer than another edition, or you know, I acquired for a friend that meant something to me, I kept that version to it, and things like that.
Oh Jesus! Instacritic's got a point here. Whatever you do, don't get the Lego book. I can't afford Legos, Instacritic, so that's not a problem. I learned about Legos when I was a young lad. I remember when I was a young child. My sweet mother was like, "Young Joseph, it is your birthday. I am going to taketh you down to ye old toy store and get you whatever you want." And I was like, "Yay, mommy, I want Legos." And I wanted like one of those Lego castles. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a castle set. Dude, who doesn't want a castle? I mean, clearly everyone wants that. And my mom was like, "Sure," you know, and in her ignorant bliss. And this was like 1995 or something, bro. It was 4. It was a long time ago. I mean, a long time ago. We walked our way down to Kmart because we didn't have a car back then. Even we walked down there and we went into the toy section, and I was like, "There it is, mommy." And in like 1995, that bitch was like $250. And she was like, "You ain't getting that for your birthday, son." And I was like, "What is this?" She's like, "I had no idea Legos were this expensive." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess they are." But I had like a huge family. So there's like, you can't buy one kid a big present like that, because then that would commit her to buying like everyone like something. She's like, no, that would bankrupt us. We can't do that. So but yeah, Legos, I that was when I learned. Even back then, I'm like, that's too rich for my blood. I could get like the colored random blocks or something, you know what I mean? None of them cool sets.
There's a couple of Lego sets that I want to get, but they are expensive, and they are, I think it's the Lord of the Rings. So yeah, it's, man, like, holy cow, that one, and then the Zelda one, and I think they're like 300 plus. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be getting those.
I don't know if you guys ever had this, but when I was a kid, most of my Lego came from our neighbors, because they had older boys that were like, you know, 5 or 6 years older than me and my brother, and they were 2 boys. And when they got to a certain age, they just gave us all their Lego, and it was like Christmas times like 100, because there was like multiple sets in there, and you know, it was like, oh, all this old stuff. And yeah, we just, you know, I just grew up assuming that Lego was awesome because I had this massive tub and always figures, and Mum still got it and won't let me touch it. And she's like, if you ever have kids, they'll be playing with it. So
yeah, I'm also I don't know if I'm creative enough for Legos. I don't know.
Same.
I'd rather just play a game, being honest with you.
I get frustrated after the first few pages.
Floodgates are not open for toys, Mr. Nuts. All right. You know what else I did though, which is dangerous? Is like I was like, I don't have any comics, and like I like comic books, and I like comics, and like, but it's like for me, like in my realm of nerddom, it's my like Achilles heel. It's like my weakest realm. Like I like comics, but I know like very little about them. So I was like, you know what? There was one that I loved, and I'm gonna start picking them up again. So I bought like a bunch of Lobo comics. Do you guys know who Lobo is? Lobo? No. So you will, I think. I'm pretty sure Lobo is going to get his own movie in like a couple years, because
I'm not gonna watch that. Do you think I watch movies? Come on, John.
Well, I usually
if there's a video game spin-off, I'll know about it.
So what's the guy who played Aquaman's name? What the hell's wrong with me? The big dude there who was Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones. What's the matter with me? You know what I'm talking about? You know that dude?
Yes.
Shoot.
The
Everyone should know that guy's name. I don't know his name. Anyway, that dude, supposedly he's not going to be Aquaman anymore, and he supposedly is going to be Lobo, which is a great casting job because he does kind of look like Lobo. But like Lobo,
Jason Momoa.
Thank you. Jeez, yeah, it's like it's like not knowing The Rock's name. I don't know what was wrong with me all of a sudden. Anyway, Jason Momoa. So Lobo, he's just like I don't know. He's just like a really rude, loudmouth biker from outer space, and like all his comics are insane, and he's just like they're crazy violent and just insanely over the top in every possible way. Like the plots of the comics are mad. It's like very much, yeah. See, Mario Mariko, like DC's Deadpool. It's very, very similar. It's like kind of like this super edgelord. You know, it was when I was 12, it was like the coolest thing in the world. You know, I was like, this is really cool. Like it's probably not now, but either way, I was like, I love that comic, and I used to have a bunch, and I don't have them anymore. So I decided to pick a bunch of those up, and they're really cheap. And there's not that many. I looked into it, and I think there's like maybe like 60 of them in the regular run. And then he has like a little appearances here and there, and none of them seem too expensive. So I kind of jumped on that a little bit, and I ordered a bunch of those. And yeah, I think that's going to be a good investment, because I feel like once that movie comes out, people will go, who the hell is Lobo? And it will not that I don't think these will ever be like super valuable comics or anything like that, but I do think the interest will peak a little bit, and they'll be more expensive. So I'm getting them now.
Like I'm rich.
Cheap. Well, you know how it is with the Deadpool games. You saw that, how the Deadpool movie came out, and all of a sudden the games are insanely expensive, and you know, I don't know.
I feel they'll come back down again, though. It's just like there's always an initial spike, and then things come directly back down once everyone realizes that they can't sell their copy for that price and things like that.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a particularly rare game by any means. I see it quite often.
It did get one print run, and they lost the licensing, so it won't get reprinted. So it does tick the boxes of like Godzilla and things, but I'm sure that one print run was a lot larger than, you know, the average game. It was Deadpool. I've seen so many PS4 copies in the wild. Like compared to Godzilla, for example, it's a 10-1. You know.
Speaking of things that have lost value, back to we were talking about earlier. Hey.
I mean, this isn't a surprise.
No,
I've mentioned it like 400 times. Every time it gets mentioned on the show, I'm like, it will be reprinted. Just wait. It'll be reprinted. It's Square Enix. They reprint everything. They still sell PS1 games. And look what happened. They reprinted it. Not even a year later. Like, come on. If
They
you've
need to
bought one on
reprint the
eBay for
collector's edition.
$1,000, then you got something wrong with you. Like, seriously. If you're spending more than $200 on a PS4 game today, and if the game hasn't lost the licensing to it and it doesn't tick all the like boxes of this can't be reprinted, blah blah blah, then just fucking wake up to yourself. Like, don't waste your money. Just have some patience. If you wait a couple of years, it doesn't get reprinted and blah blah blah, it'll still be the same fucking price. It'll still be on eBay. Like, just have some patience, you know.
Mm-hmm. What were we gonna say for him?
So is that all it is? Is it just a reprint? And
It's
if
not a
that's the
reprint.
case-
It's not a reprint.
No, it's a different edition. So the original one, I didn't have a picture of it, but it just has the special logo on the top. It has the Final Fantasy Remastered, and then it has the ESRB on it, the regular one. But this new anniversary edition has there you go. It has that
Anniversary
little
edition.
Yeah, so you see that like
Hello.
text underneath the guys that say anniversary edition, blah 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 blah.
It
That's
also includes the stickers and stuff, but
Mhm.
which people who bought the original copy will love because it separates it from this. But
Mhm.
it doesn't. The original copy's only expensive because people couldn't get their hands on it. And now that people can get it, no one's going to go and spend $1,000 on that copy. So it's not worth.
Oh, it'll be expensive still, but it won't be worth. It'll lose like 90% of its value. I bet.
No,
I
like,
bet
the only people you could sell it to is people who are in for like variant collections and full, Final Fantasy collections and full. It is like a 0.1% of people who actually wanted it before. Like, if you're sitting on multiple copies thinking that you're still sitting on, money, you're dreaming. You'd be lucky to get $200 for it in a couple of years. You would
right.
Today. If you sell one today, you'll still get $500 for it because people will be like, "Oh, I'm getting a cheap one." But in 2 years' time, it'll go for, I guarantee you, like the same price as the regular copy. Look at Class of Heroes 2G. ABC variants used to be like $300-$400 games. Today, it sells the exact same price as the D variant, which has like a way bigger print run. No one cares anymore,
Yeah. No, I mean the reprints of Berserk lower the value of that game, and I mean you're right.
On Titan 2. We can go over tons of games. Look at the Atelier games on PS4. No one's going out buying the original versions when the reprints are brand new, sealed at Video Game Plus.
It's true. But just goes to show you that collecting during the current life cycle is risky business. And I think now after the 1001 Spikes announcement and then this announcement, maybe people will cool their jets a little bit and relax. Like, I know the FOMO is strong, but just cool your jets a little bit. Cool your jets. Like, did you see Mr. James Johnson got that exclusive PS5 game that's like unreleased? Did you see that? He showed that off on his show. He got a copy. I didn't
see it. No.
Yeah, he got a copy of Habroxia on PS5, which isn't out yet. It's like not released, but he got like a promo copy somehow. And I'm like, that's cool, but I ain't getting that FOMO fever. I'm not going out there and trying to find one for like $1,000.
Well,
it's gonna get released at some point. If there's no way someone randomly made one copy of Habroxia, that's going to get released. So you just gotta chill.
Well, we know for a fact if there's a copy out there, there's 1,000 copies out there because Sony's rules are if you print a game, we require a minimum of 1,000 copies. That's facts.
Yeah. So it's gotta be. Yeah, take it easy. Although FOMO got me today. I ordered my Final Fantasy copy off of Square's site and paid the extra $10 shipping because I was like,
I ordered too, and I feel like
I could have just got it off of Best Buy, Amazon, VGP. It's on every major retailer's website right now.
And you're gonna walk into shops and see this retail for years because they're gonna realize how much popularity was behind it. That's probably the whole idea behind releasing it early, like gauge the popularity of how many will actually make. And I mentioned on Discord that I bet that now that I've bought UK copies that it'll actually get an Australian release, and then I'll be stuck with multiple copies and have to like resell them and probably lose money on them.
I will say this though, I was impressed that even still, like, they sold out on Square's site in like 10 minutes, dude. Did you guys see that? It was
Yeah,
nuts.
I was in the checkout.
It was like
and my
maybe
fucking
15,
order
20.
disappeared.
Yeah.
I had to change copies.
Yeah, dude, it was sold out. Like, I couldn't even believe it because at first I didn't like they said it wasn't like limited, and they were even going to say like it was a retail release. So I feel like people were like, "Oh, cool. Well, let me just finish this sandwich here, and I'll go get my wallet." And but that sold out.
Joe, this is what happened to me. I was asleep. And I heard a notification on my phone, and it was a weird notification.
I freaked out and notified everybody. I was like,
everyone.
"Ah!"
And for Facebook do a different sound for that. And I'd left my phone on loud.
Mhm.
So I heard this sound. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is that like an emergency sound? Like, I better check this just in case. And I look at it and it's Final Fantasy's got out of bed. It's fucking freezing through a jumper on. Like, run to the computer. Ordered. I had to message my mate in the UK to confirm that I could still send it to him. He's got the same address. Because they didn't do shipping to Australia. Like, if I get a US copy, I'd either have to send it to you, but I wanted a UK copy so I could send it to the UK, Ireland, Jersey, Guernsey, or Isle of Man, and that was it.
I guess I'm the only one that just looked at that.
Oh my god, it's on EV
like,
Games. It's coming to Australia. I should just cancel my pre-orders. I wonder if they'll let me do that. I'll email Square and try and cancel it. I want an Australian copy. That's what I collect.
Yeah.
It's just FOMO. I had that FOMO moment of, this is $1,000 game for retail price.
Yeah.
FOMO.
I had one of those moments where I'm like, I don't have time to think. Literally, that's how I felt. I felt so pressured.
I'm gonna miss out.
I'm like, what if I miss out again? And these sell out immediately, and they're selling for $1,000 like the other ones. And I was like, I was sitting there telling everybody, like, "Hey, everybody, you can order it now." And meanwhile, while I'm telling everybody it sells out, I was like, I couldn't. I had to buy it. So
I did too. I ordered a Switch one as well, and I got a Switch copy sitting right here. You know.
Oh, come on! I didn't do that. I already have that. I have the Japanese Switch copy. I'm cool with that. I'm weird about my Switch collection. Like, I'm like real OCD about my PS4 collection because that's like my primary focus. And I treat my Switch collection. It's impressive, and I have nice stuff. But I'm way more lenient about which edition I have. If it's Asian copy, the English, I don't care. Japanese copy, like, I don't care as long as it plays in English. I'm happy. I don't really like collect as seriously for it, I would say.
Like with that, you can't tell. My Switch collection looks like yours. You can't tell a PAL and a North American Switch collection apart from the spines. They look the same. You can't tell a Japanese. Oh, you can tell a Japanese collection because the titles are in Japanese. But
that's the only thing that sucks about having a bunch of Japanese games. It takes a long time to pick the game out. I'm like, is this one? Is this one? Is that one? Is this one? No, I don't know.
I saw my Japanese games in alphabetical order, so like I just look for the game, you know.
What the hell does that mean? Alphabetical? What? You think I know the alphabet? If I knew the alphabet,
but I store them with the other games, so I go to the A section and pull out.
Oh, so like if you had like Mario Kart, you would put it in the M's, so it would be.
Yeah. Like, so my PS3 games, there's 100 Japanese games mixed with all the games. So if you ask me to pull one out, I'll grab it for you instantly.
That's impressive.
I also like memorized what a lot of the spines look like because I'm like that. But hey,
I don't have that type of commitment.
I can see you right now just studying them like just for 6 hours straight. Just yeah, that's.
So another reprint that I was going to bring up last week, I actually just forgot about, is I don't know if you guys saw that Scorn on the PS5 had gotten really, really expensive. This is like a pretty new PS5 game, and it sold out in most major retailers, and it was selling for. I hope I didn't mention this. I don't think I did, but either way, VGP announced they had doing a reprint of this game as well. It's like $40,
like 59 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
the regular version or the steelbook.
The steelbook.
That's the only version. There isn't just a single version of it.
Yeah, it's going to be the same version as this, exactly the same in every way. I think it's like you said,
with that reprint in mind, it'll always be $59 now. You know, and to me, I'm not really interested in the game, so I'm probably just going to pass on it.
I tried that game, and yeah, it's a game. It's a game.
It's I've heard really mixed things about it. Like it's one of those games where visually it's very impressive, but the
Yes,
actual
and
game
disgusting.
is like not that great. That's what I've heard. The gameplay is not that great.
Yeah, when I booted up, like I played the first 10 minutes of it and I didn't know what to do at all. Like it doesn't tell you anything.
Mhm.
So, and I didn't feel like looking it up, so I was like, well, I guess I'll just play something else right now.
That happens.
So I'm obviously back into collecting again, but I'm finding it hard to collect PS5 games. The only games I bought recently, and I've got one to show today, is a game I'm going to play, and I'll probably sell it after I finish playing it. Because I don't know if I'll collect PS5 games yet, and I don't know if I'm interested in it. It's just one of those things, everything that I love about collecting, it just doesn't really do. And, I'd be hypocritical if I just got into a system that, manuals aren't a thing, and, downloads for a lot of the games, and just all these things that I don't like about collecting. I'm so much more interested in looking at old games again. And, PS1, 2, Wii, DS, 3DS, like PS4. I'm still loving looking at those games, but I went to like JB Hi-Fi this week, and I'm just so sad at the selection in there. It's just new games. That's it. A couple of PS4 games, like no pre-owned games anymore, and it's just a sad selection. Like really, really. I used to love going to these shops, walking out. I used to walk out right with more games than they fucking have in the whole shop. Like every weekend, I'd walk out with like 100 games. I don't even have 100 games in there anymore. Wow.
Yeah, I like watching like those videos on YouTube where people are like this. They're like, this is when I went to GameStop in 2002. And it's just like them filming GameStop in 2002, and you look around, you're like, damn, look at all that. It's just like packed to the nothing but games.
Gold.
Nothing but games. And
handhelds,
and it's just all over the place, and cool kiosks, and people like,
and all the games at the same price.
Happy kids shopping with parents and stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure GameStop still has moments, but like you go in there, like you said, nowadays, and it's just like this dirty old building with like 5 cases with Sharpie on them. No, and that's all that's in the place. You know what I mean? And
you go in there today. It's still a big shop, and there's a clothes section. There's an amiibo section. There's a section for like board games that are like video game related, and then they have memorabilia that's video game related. They have posters. They have all this like video game related stuff, and then they got a couple of video games in the corner.
And
there's more fucking cards in these shops than games these days. Like,
speaking of them, I did want to talk about this as well.
R.I.P.
Yeah, this is sad.
So
what happened to it?
So when I think of GameStop, one of the first things I used to always think of them is always asking you if you're a rewards member and blah blah blah. And I was a rewards member for a long time with them, and if you buy and sell a lot of used games, there's a ton of value in that. But honestly, the primary reason that I used to sign up is because it always came with the free subscription to Game Informer, and I enjoyed Game Informer. I liked it. I mean, it, like all games journalisms, it had its moments of like clickbaity stupidness, but that's just part of the game. Like, it's just part of the game. Like, so I've tried to explain that. Like, people are like, I can't believe these people say it's outrageous. I'm like, they're doing that to literally make you upset and click on it. Like, it's the only way they can generate traffic. It's just a game, guys. Like, so if you fall for it, you get upset, it's your own fault. They don't believe it either. They're just laughing about it. It's a big joke. It's just a way to make money. Like, if I had a button that I could push that makes money, I'd push the button. Wouldn't you? Right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So if you're like, I'm not making no money, I'm gonna push this button. Watch this. I'm gonna say something real stupid. I'll be like, this is, I don't even want to, but either way, I thought this was a fun magazine. I thought it was really high quality. I literally think I have this copy of the one on the bottom here with the guy from Mirage. Like, I have that copy somewhere. And I don't know. It's just an end to an era.
I think one of the most memorable moments I've had for Game Informer was the ad they did for Final Fantasy III when that first released on the DS. That was insane. Like it showed all of
Mhm.
the different variations of like each class that you could have, and they
Mhm.
all had that that classic Final Fantasy 3 art where it was just like the plain looking anime face.
Mhm.
Like I saw that and I was like, "Holy cow! I need to buy this game." And that was
Yep.
actually like one of my first actual Final Fantasies that I beat, that I beat all the way through. So yeah,
Yeah, and that's
sucks to see them go.
that's one of that feeling of excitement, that hype you got from those magazines. That's like something that I'm not sure. Like maybe you can still recreate that through YouTube, games coming out, trailers and stuff like that. But there's just something about reading those magazines, and not even just Game Informer. When I was a kid, like, dude, I used to read PC magazines and stuff, and I didn't even own a PC that could play those games, but I would just scour every page and read everything about it and like just love it and just be so hyped. And then like if you ever got the chance to play one of those games that you read about, you were so excited. You were like, "Oh my god, this is that game. Oh man," like so excited to try it. So yeah, that hype is so cool. I'm gonna miss it. But like I
Honestly,
think
did they say like was it just money? Is that the only reason why it went under?
probably, but I don't think they really say much about. They just said like something like they were going through a restructuring and getting rid of, financially insolvent parts of the company, blah blah blah, whatever. So yeah, I don't think it was generating enough income or revenue for them.
But in the long picture, I don't see GameStop being around for 10 years, a bit longer, like I already see the decline of GameStop. So then to start stopping different things like that, it's just, start of the inevitable. Like there'll be a time when GameStop won't sell games. It just, they'll just, in Australia, like we have a shop called Zing, and it's just like a pop vinyl shop or a shop that's like a game shop, but without video games. That's what I feel like these shops are turning into, and that's what they will become. And I feel like their stockholders and their share meetings are heading in this direction because obviously they don't make money in video games. Like they
going to
make
be
money in
gaming
pre-owned
merch
video
stores.
games.
It's going to be like Hot Topic for games. It's going to be a game culture store. So like you said, it'll have Mario t-shirts, Yoshi plushies, Zelda Monopoly. That's what they'll sell. Like it'll be like you said, a video game themed place with stuff. You know what I mean? Like lamps that look like question blocks from Mario, all that stuff. So
well, if you go back to 20 years ago, like what these shops used to make profit on wasn't new games. Like EB Games or GameStop make fuck all money when you buy a brand new game because they've paid. Say you buy a $60 game, they might have had to pay $45 for 100,000 copies of this $60 game that'll get a price reduction, and then they'll eventually lose money on it. The way they make money used to be pre-owned games because they made like 3-to-1 for every single pre-owned game that came in. How many pre-owned games do they sell today? Fuck all. Most of their profit gone. So like, it's clearly been replaced with something, and it's this, and it's not for collectors, that's for sure. It's for the casual, mum and dad who have kids who are into video games, or people that collect cards or collect pops or collect toys or puzzles and different things like that. It's literally just not for game collectors anymore, which is wild.
I want to know how that conversation went because, like, I can't think of owning a company and then having video game makers come up to me and they're like, "Hey, I want you to sell my game for pennies on the dollar." Like, who would agree to that? That doesn't benefit GameStop at all.
Nintendo doesn't. They're like, my game's
but
$49.
The problem is if they say no, and it's let's say it's Call of Duty and they say no, and Call of Duty goes, all right, we'll only sell in Walmart. Guess what? They've just lost 50% of their customers. So they have to agree because they can't afford to not have Madden in their shops and not have FIFA in their shops and not have, Call of Duty and all the popular titles. They have to give up dollars to the set. They might make different deals on like
Insane.
indie titles and titles like RPGs that only get one copy and are exclusive to GameStop. They might be making more money on those type of games. I don't know, but when they're buying big games, it can be like, you know, $45 a copy for 100,000 copies and things like that, especially for sport games. Like, they hate selling sport games because they have to buy a certain amount, and there's a point where they start losing money on them, and it happens every single year. That's why sport games turn into $1 games.
Insane.
Yeah, that's I was gonna say too, like about maybe that's why they like don't stock games. That's like, what, did you pre-order it? Because that's the new answer when you go, and if you go, do you have this game? They go, did you pre-order it? I'm like, no, I just expect you to, like, I don't know, sell video games here. You have any? They're like, no.
It came out this morning.
Yeah, you have to pre-order everything. And maybe you hit the nail on the head, Figsy. That's maybe they're just like, we don't stock these games because they just sit on the shelves and they get discounted, and then we're losing money on them. So it's better to just have maybe, like you said, one copy and tell everybody to pre-order it, because then at least we're just selling them at the demand that they need to be. Another point too that like this was a funny comment by Turner when they were like trying to, you know, turn people onto like a digital magazine. I just don't think a digital magazine or like even like a standard website these days is a lucrative or a reasonable business strategy when information is just so much more palatable and easy to digest in video format. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather watch 3 YouTubers talk about video game news and like little 10-minute blips than sit there and read a bunch of articles about video games. Just me personally. And I like to read. I'm not like words are hard. Words are for nerds, bros. I'm not like, I read books. I like reading. That ain't the problem. I'm just saying it's just time investment.
Same for game reviews. I don't read game reviews. I watch videos.
Yeah, or even walkthroughs. How often when you go to do a walkthrough these days, do you go and read like those or you just look up a video?
I actually disagree with you there.
Go right there.
Because for trophies, PSYP has the best trophy cards in the world, and I always go to his before I go to YouTube. Sorry. He links videos under every single one, so you don't need it.
Oh, I mean, as long as, what I'm just saying, like, video.
But I agree with you otherwise, you know.
It's like just more accessible, I think, and like easier to deal with. It's just preferable for most people. So I just think, like, if you're going to try to go from a physical magazine to an online thing, video is how you do it. Like, you need a branded video. Like, you know, I bet that IGN makes more money off their YouTube channel than they do off their website nowadays.
Yep. Mostly because their website doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yep. James agrees. You gotta pre-order it to get it, unless it's a AAA game. Yeah.
Which is wild for someone like you, when like the shop would know you're going for a full set and need every single game. You could just be like, I've got one customer that is going for a full set. I'm just going to make sure one copy of every single game comes into my store, because I know that they'll be sold eventually, you know.
So something else I wanted to bring up, that speaking of things that just came out that you can't buy, which I was shocked about this. I don't know if you guys saw this. Probably not, because no one else gives a shit about VR but me. But the PSVR 2 PC adapter came out today, and that bitch is sold out. Sold out on PlayStation's website, sold out on Amazon. I think it's sold out on Best Buy. Like, I looked, I didn't look everywhere because I was like, well, I'm sure it'll come back in stock or whatever. But yeah, this thing is sold out. You can't get one.
I believe there is a workaround for it, and I'm just going to find the thread.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I saw an article about that said some people were able to get their
it works perfectly fine if a TP link Bluetooth adapter. So you don't actually need one. I
had to be some sort of special video card or something, I thought, or something like that. You had to have a special port on your graphics card. I don't know. The article I saw said you had to hook it up to your graphics card directly or some shit like that, but I don't know.
But there is a workaround around it.
There is, yeah. So, but regardless, whether you can do that or not, I feel like the PSVR 2's kind of had like a little resurgence lately. They did that sale where they dropped to $200 and it sold out like everywhere.
Type C on the GPU.
Yeah, that's what it is. You had to have a specific connection on your GPU. But I think you even said there might be some special, like, there was like, God, I wish I could remember what I read. It was like you had to have that, and then it had to have some certain, like that TP link or something, like you said. There was some sort of other thing it had to have, some sort of protocol that was a standard that is no longer a standard. So you may have it or you may not have it or some shit like that. I don't know. So people who know what technology are probably like, this guy's so dumb. I'm like, yep.
There's something and there's something and there's
You need to
something.
have the little magic elves that make the cookies in your computer, and then they fix that shit, and then you play, and you're good. That's about as technical as I get.
Bottom line is there is a workaround, so
Mhm.
try that before buying one.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, if you can't afford 50, 60, if you could afford the $500 PS5 and the $500,
Well, it's not gonna be 50, 60 if they're sold out. It'll be 120 because people are gonna flip them.
No.
That's
Just
the problem.
Just wait. There's no way that this is gonna be hard to get sold out or anything. Like, they're going to restock these. There's no way that this was like one batch and done thing. They're probably just shocked. Like, they're probably just surprised. Like, the demand all of a sudden for PSV VR2 has just gone up in the last 2 weeks like crazy. Like, all of a sudden there's all these new people getting into it who just bought all the headsets. I've seen all these people posting online like, what game should I get? What should I try out? I see all these people being like, hey, this thing's pretty nice, actually. This thing's pretty good. I'm like, yeah. Everyone's poo-pooing on it like 2 months ago. Like, it's dead in the water.
I mean, it's like super discounted.
Well, it's $200 off.
Yeah.
Not anymore though. That's over. Like that it was a temporary thing. So it's back to regular price. My speculation is, what I want to know is, like, I wonder if they'll just give up on it completely or do another production of it. And if they do another production of it, I wonder if they'll do any like revisions or updates, because the original PSVR 1, they did do a revision of it and like change up some of the cables and stuff. So the original one has like a different like cable connection setup than the newer version. Not that this one, the newer version is just one wire, so it's not going to be like a cable revision. But I'm curious if, like, what if they did do another version and maybe made a wireless one or did a better, I don't know, fidelity one or something like that. I'm curious if they're going to actually produce more of them or just give up at this point. What do you guys think?
Well, I think it comes back to the whole, like, is Sony going to continue developing games for it again? Like, that's a big thing, I know we're getting third-party games, but Sony announced that they've stopped working on the PSVR. Like, with this whole
they barely did anything at all for games, like the whole time.
Well, exactly. There's like, what system selling games are there for the PSVR? I can't name one. There might be one or two out there, but
it's just Call the Mountain. Yeah, call that one. And then there's a new God, I can't remember what it's called. It's like there's a Metro game coming out. Do you know that Metro series, like that Russian FPS game? That looks really good. And that's about it.
It comes down to, like, it's a push shove. If they want consumers to spend money on this system, they got to put money into developing good games that people want and will sell systems. There's good games out there, but it's like a new Tomb Raider or a new Spyro, or something that, like, grabs people's attention. A Ratchet and Clank game that's only VR. It might only be 10 hours long, but
Tomb Raider VR would be awesome. That's a good idea. That would be a cool game.
It would. You'd just be looking down the whole time.
Like an Uncharted VR or something.
Or doing this.
Shock. Oh, man.
Check that out.
You've been playing for 10 hours and you haven't left the starting area yet.
Hey, still in the tutorial. Right? What are you doing? Gosh, that's so funny.
Walk out covered in sweat.
I'm kind of like, I have mixed emotions when it comes to VR. Because I like the technology and I like the fact that a lot of people are buying into it. But at the same time, I do kind of feel like the resources that are going to the VR could be going to, like a PlayStation Portable. And the fact that they're not doing this now, especially after the success of the Switch and how there's like the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally. There's so many different like portable PCs out now.
Yeah,
There's a
handhelds are hot.
humongous market. So like the fact that Sony doesn't see that literally blows my mind.
Well, they put out the PlayStation little portable thing. Yeah, they've probably just ticked the box on that and moved on.
PlayStation Portal. That is a professional dust collector.
I haven't seen people talking about it since for months. Like it's just disappeared.
I bought it and I made a review on it, and I mean, some games it works good, and then other games that you think should run very well, like Spider-Man, it's got a bunch of lag in it, so it kind of sucks playing with it.
It's totally useless for shmups. Like anything that requires like Twitch timing or like low latency, don't try to play Punch Out on it or some shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
What's it good for? Like visual novels.
It's great for RPGs. It's good for like Hogwarts Legacy. It's good for games like little action games like that. That's
probably be good for Dark Souls when you need perfect timing and stuff. But if there's latency lag.
So it's not like so bad that you can't play games or everything, but like
it's inconsistent though.
I wouldn't play Dark Souls on it. I wouldn't. I only use it for games where I don't care about latency.
I tried Dark Souls on the Switch and it was terrible. So I assumed if it's a similar experience to that, it's not playable.
Yeah, the Portal is I like my Portal for sure. So he says he plays JRPG games. That's what I'm talking about. It has its moments. So like in my living room, if I want to play on my PS5 and my girlfriend wants to watch a movie or something, it is really nice to have the option to use it. But it's not like my preferred thing. Like if she ain't watching that movie, I'm playing on the TV. You know what I mean? I'm not grabbing.
It's a laggy Wii U.
Yeah. But the screen is gorgeous. I'll give it that. It looks beautiful. I like that about it. But like you said, it's just it's shocking to me that they left so much money on the table by not doing that, because this big Switch collection would be significantly smaller if they had a PlayStation portable handheld alternative like that. Yeah, dude, I love the Vita. Love it. That's a beautiful one too. I like the blue one. That's the OG OLED one. Yeah, it's just crazy to me. I think that they will come out with a new handheld at some point. I really do.
I used to think that, but if you told me 10 years ago that by 2024 they still haven't brought out a handheld, I wouldn't have believed you. So I'm kind of like on the other fence that they don't actually want to do it. Otherwise they would have,
Yeah.
So I think that the Switch success, maybe, hopefully, is making them think about it. And I've heard that Xbox is coming out with their own little handheld device. That's been a rumor for quite some time too. So that could be either them saying we have to compete in this market, or it's a too crowded of a market and they don't want to compete. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think even if they didn't come out with like a full-blown handheld with its own set of physical media, which I would really wish they would, I don't see why they don't come out with like a handheld counterpart that lets you download your digital games on it and play it that way. Like, I mean, natively too. Like they're trying to get people into their little digital ecosystem so bad with PS Plus and your free monthly games and all that other crap. Like if you allowed people to actually download those and play them natively on the handheld, I feel like that would be, a big deal. I think a lot of people would be,
that would be literally genius. And once you start doing that, you can get to the point where you can literally just bundle them. So you can tell people, buy this portable console and then just buy the membership, and you can just download any game you want.
You don't even need a PlayStation. Yeah. Just that's.
But that's nothing.
Yeah, it's all about value proposition. They need to give people value for what they're charging you, and like I canceled my PlayStation Plus because I'm like, I'm paying so much money to play online with my friends like twice a year. This isn't worth it. Like if I was like an online gaming junkie, multiplayer Fortnite every day type, I'm sure I'd be getting my money's worth. But I play like a couple multiplayer games a year. That's it. Like literally 3 times a year, maybe, that I'm like, oh, and I don't Like I couldn't even tell you, like, I don't download the digital free games because to me there's no point, because it's like as soon as I cancel this membership, all those games are gone. And I own all the damn games. That was the other thing. Every month they'd be like, "Oh, you want Uncharted?" I'm like, "Bitch, you don't think I own Uncharted?"
We're bringing you The Last of Us 1. And you're like, come on. Yeah, I did get that, Joe. I recently did download it again for Elden Ring, and it wasn't to play online, but they have like a system in the game where if you have to be online, you get to see like messages that other players have left, and that's something that I think is just organically amazing in that game. And it was when the DLC just dropped, so I'm like, I have to see that because I can't just not have the messages.
Now, one thing that they did announce that you actually talked about in one of your recent videos was this beautiful controller. And I got the worst picture of it ever, apparently. I got like a 1 resolution picture of it off a Game Boy Color, but there it is.
320p.
Yeah, you like that? I went for a retro vibe. This is a throwback. So yeah, the new Astrobot is coming out.
Sounds like you watched my video, man.
I did watch.
You got the Astrobot, and then you got Knack 2 in the background.
That's right.
Yuck.
That's right.
Yuck.
I was wondering you were going to say that. Like, why is he Knack?
I love the spinning wheel too.
I'm just waiting for Video Game Donkey to come out of nowhere and be like, Knack.
Knack. It's a funny meme, but I like Knack. It's a good. Knack's fun. You know what? The whole time I was watching your video about that, what was really depressing to me is I'm like, who in my mind would I say is like a PlayStation's mascot? And forever I would always said Crash Bandicoot. And he's not. He's Activision, and he's an Xbox. He's Benedict Arnold. Turncoat, stabbed me in the heart, left me behind.
I always feel like PlayStation never had a mascot. PlayStation always had, like, if you look at the PS3, there was like 10 mascots. They couldn't pick on one. They did a competition to have everyone vote for them for the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, and they ended up having 8 winners, and it was Drake from Uncharted, it was Sackboy, it was Kratos.
Kratos would be
more
cool.
of them. They're not coming to me. But like, you can't really narrow it down to one. But I kind of get where Sony are coming from. Like, we're not just one, because you get all these games on PlayStation. That's
you do.
like
you get Ratchet and Clank, and you get Jack and Daxter. You get there's a lot of contenders for mascots, I'd say, for the PlayStation for sure.
There's no Mario.
There's no clear. Correct. There's no clear, definitive, one. Sackboy was it for a while, I'd say. But
I would love for Nathan Drake to win that, because you have all these creative characters made, and then you just have a regular American man. Like, he is just a bro. Like,
he's not very mascot-y. Like, that's I wouldn't vote for him as a mascot.
You know what they could do though is they could get someone in real life to represent the mascot pretty well.
Right?
Here's our mascot. It's just some regular dude.
Nathan Drake for president.
Mario ain't gonna be running.
So his video, guys, he was basically comparing, whether like Knack or Astro Boy was like the better mascot between the two, and it's a really good video. You guys go check out his channel. So it's good stuff. Yeah. So your channel was when I came across it, was one of those channels where I'm like, your production and stuff like is like really good, and like your videos, like you seem like a 250,000 sub channel with like 2,000 subs. So I'm like, damn, that's how I felt, like, honestly.
Damn.
And I just saw that you got monetized or whatever recently, right? You got the partner programs. Congratulations. Hold on, I don't even get a button for that. Right? Do I have the button? Hey, congratulations.
Yeah. This isn't like the full monetization. So like, I just hit 3,000 watch hours, so I can get like super chats and memberships, which is cool. I mean, just that alone is amazing, but we still got a little ways to go. The way we're trending, we should be able to hit that last 1,000 hours by the end of the year. So yeah, I'm excited.
I would recommend starting a podcast, Because
Yeah, if you ever want watch hours, right?
Bro. I got like 111 subs and I had 25,000 watch hours this month.
What?
Yeah.
No
And
way.
I'm like, and I go, I don't get paid nothing. Dang it. I'm doing this all wrong.
You know, I was
Put
also
I
thinking
need
the
to put
same
us some
thing
top
about
tens
you.
or some shit. Damn.
Yeah, I was also thinking the same thing about you because you know, like your podcast is really good, and on top of that, you've had some really big names on your channel. Like that's insane. So I'm like, dude, how do you not have over 100,000 subscribers right now? It's a travesty.
I don't know.
I mean, the problem is Joe jumped onto my channel and I just stopped making videos for a while. And then Joe doesn't make videos either. So it's like, you can't just have a podcast. You need to make YouTube videos as well. But I'll save it for my pickups, but videos are coming back to the Figsy Games channel.
Nice. Sweet. Yeah, I'm going to start making like really clickbaity, controversial rage ones. Just be like, the NES is the worst game console ever made. Anyone who collects for it is dumb.
All your opinions are wrong, and this is why.
Let me tell you, it's not about Xbox or PlayStation. It's all about the ColecoVision losers. I'm gonna start making videos like that and just rage bait my way to the top.
Right.
No, I could never do that because I'm too goofy and I laugh too much. No, like I'm not. I'm like I can't be serious. It's impossible.
Yeah, that's why you just gotta edit it all out and cut it just before you start laughing and stuff. You can do it.
Right.
That's true. I know that I have a problem because when I am serious, like my girlfriend's always like, I'm like, yes. She's like, I don't know. I can never fucking tell. I'm like, damn it. This is my own fault. I joke too much. Like she knows, like she asked me a question, like my first two answers are throwaway answers. She's not going to get the real answer. She's like, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, steak, fillets, lobster, and, rack of lamb. She's like, uh-huh. What do you want? I'm like, she's like, yeah. What do you actually want, motherfucker? I'm like, tacos.
Burger.
Yeah.
One day you'll get what you asked for.
Oh man. Okay, what else we got here? Do we have any other important topics? Oh, I did want to talk about this. I don't know if you guys are very familiar with the franchise, but did you guys see the exciting
7% on Rotten Tomatoes? I'll be right back, guys.
Wow.
So for literally most of the day, it was at 0%. It was at 0% of the tomato meter. With reviews. It wasn't like no one reviewed it. Like it had a bunch of reviews and it was at 0. So recently, like right before the show, like maybe an hour before the show started, I grabbed it and we were at a whopping 7%.
Jesus.
Now, I'm confused how to feel about this because when I originally saw previews of that movie, I was like, that does not look very good. Like I was just like, it doesn't look very good. I'm not saying it is impossible that it's good because I think Kevin Hart's very funny. So that alone, I like the Jumanji movies, the sequels.
Yeah.
Like when I saw those previews, I was like, that does not look very good. But I enjoyed those movies very much. I think they're very fun. They're very lighthearted, cute movies. They're just fun. I like those movies. So when I see that the critics score is a 7, now I'm thinking it might be pretty good. Because if all the critics hate it, that probably means it's just a fun, stupid movie, and I probably will like it. So I don't know. I've talked about this before on the podcast where I have like I call it hipster syndrome, where like anytime something's really popular, I'm like, it's probably shitty. Anytime really unpopular, I'm like, people probably just don't understand this the way that I will. It's probably pure, beautiful art, and they're just not understanding it. I don't know. I just have this hipster attitude, and I'm wrong a lot. Like sometimes I'm like, this is going to be great, and everyone says it sucks, and they were right. Really bad. Did not enjoy it. So I don't know, but I'm curious about this one. I'm definitely not paying theater prices to see it. I'll tell you that right now.
We can go half price Tuesday.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Or I'll wait till it's on streaming. I will watch it for sure. But I'm just curious. Down in the comments, if you guys are watching this, leave comments. Let me know what you guys think about the Borderlands movie. Do you think it looks good? Do you think it looks bad? And tell me why. I'm curious. Did you guys, any of you play the Borderlands games?
I've honestly never played a Borderlands game. I've played both Rage 1 and 2, which people say are like spin-off titles, but I never got into Borderlands. And I don't know, like I look at the PS3 games, and to me they look today like outdated games. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to get into this. So I feel like I just missed the time of the Borderlands games.
That's fair. How about you, Fern? Did you ever play either of them?
Yeah, I didn't play them either. I totally missed out on those. My brother played them, and he says that they're pretty good, and they are kind of like over the top, really funny. So my only issue with it is I feel like, some of the Hollywood actors, they have a way of, dad joking that, but like not the funny dad jokes. I'm trying too hard. So,
yeah, the corny one-liners. Yeah.
So
make kids laugh jokes. I call those. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I hope that they hold back on that, because it doesn't look too bad. I mean, I'd be willing to give it a chance.
So the casting choices were weird, just straight off the board, just odd.
Yes.
Not that I dislike any of the actors or actresses individually, like Jamie Lee Curtis or whatever. She's great. I think she's
an actual nerd.
Fucking
My Name
choice.
Is Earl? Is that Joe from My Name Is Earl?
No, Jamie Lee Curtis. She was like in Halloween and
Freaky Friday.
True Lies, Freaky Friday.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's the older. Yeah. She's the one
who
does the
commercials.
Yeah.
So
Plenty of pause movie scenes when I was a kid.
Oh, now I remember.
Well.
As soon as I said True Lies, he's like, "Oh yeah. That's a good one.
Oh, that's a good movie. Yeah.
So she plays, I think Tanis. I think her name. I don't know the name. She's like the smart, nerdy type. That's all right, but she's way older than the character in the game, like significantly. So that's it's odd. And then Kate Blanchett's in the movie, and like she's way too good of an actress to be in this movie. It's just like, what are you doing, Kate? Like, I get it. Yeah, I mean, she must be hard times, but like it's just like I don't know. It's like seeing Sean Connery in fucking like Shrek or something. Although that would be awesome. I don't know. That
would be cool.
Yeah, that would actually be awesome. That was a terrible example. No, never mind. That would be freaking rad.
Shrek's like an A-class movie. What do you mean? I'd actually go.
I take that back. Damn it! I'm starting a petition to bring Sean Connery back from the dead to put him in Shrek. Anyway,
it's the League of Cartoon Characters.
My point is, like, she was in Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? She's Galadriel. She's like, I don't know. I just see her as like a professional class.
You can see her in a movie like Shrek or something,
Yeah, exactly. Like, Puss in Boots 3 or whatever. Absolutely, I can totally see her selling them. Anyway, like I said, and I know that's like what a criticism. She's like, what do you mean I'm too good for this movie? But that's what I honestly feel. I feel like she's too good for that damn movie. And then yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. It could be good. It could be bad. But the thing that really concerns me about it is that it's PG-13, which that game is not PG-13. That's not a PG-13 game. That is a very adult game. It's like the humor is incredibly crude. It's really outrageous. It's very violent, gory, like terrible things happen. Like literally, it's just not a PG-13 thing. So anytime it's like that always gets me. Like anytime something comes out and you're like, oh, it's gonna be great, and then you see PG-13, you're like, oh, why? Like horror movies or something like that. You're like, dude, this looks so scary, and then it's like PG-13. Like, it's gonna be lame. I don't know. I feel like I always feel that way when I see it. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on Borderlands. Curious what you guys think about it.
I'm not a movie person, but seeing it getting bad reviews, I'm not surprised. I won't watch it.
I give it a 7 out of 10 on the moist meter.
Borderlands 2 is the best game in the series, by the way. And the whole I don't care for the humor thing, I can totally see that. So, like, you know how you said like it was like you sort of missed the times for Borderlands when that was hyped. I feel like going back to the first two games might be a little cringy because that style of humor at the time was kind of new. That like, oh God, lol, so random. You know, that kind of random, you know what I mean? Humor. That was
what?
that was like,
lol.
yeah, exactly. It was like over
Yeah,
the top sort of joking. The characters are like really like way too much personality. At the time, first time I saw that, it was fun, but like going back and playing it, you're like, oh geez, a little bit. So it is like the humor is a little dated, but still, I still recommend Borderlands 2 if you've never played it. I think it's a really, really good game.
Those games are on Switch too, right?
Mhm.
I think they did like a collection. So I mean, you know,
A handsome
you don't really care
collection.
too much about. Yeah, you don't have to worry
That's
too
cheap.
much about the graphics because you're playing portably. So yeah,
And the third one's on PS4. You can pick it up pretty cheap. So if you want to try them out, it's definitely easy to access to that. It's good.
Yeah, it has that cool like cell shaded look, so it'll run like on any system and look good. It runs well on the Switch and looks good, so it's a fun game. Yeah, I recommend them. I like them. I don't think, but I wouldn't go past 2. 3 was just, oh God, 3 was so bad.
I'm not a Telltale person, but they did like a Telltale Borderlands as well. And
Dude, at the end, so the second game was like I said, really crude, edgy, funny humor. The bad guy was just a goof, and then the third one, like literally, you beat the game, and it's like that song. It's like, this girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. And I'm like, what am I playing? What is this? Who made this game? It literally feels like
it sounds like it's made for teenagers or something.
They fired everyone who worked on 2 and replaced them with a totally new staff, fresh out of college. They just were like I don't know who the hell wrote the story and it was just, it literally felt like a totally different company made the game. Just like a completely different company made the game. That's all I can say. Play 2 and then play 3 and you'll go, what the heck? And the other thing too is, if you've ever played the games, there's this great character called Mr. Torg. And he's just like this super over the top, giant, jacked dude. All he does is screams about explosions, and he's like completely nuts and over the top. And he's freaking hilarious. He's like the best character in the whole franchise. And in the third game, he's just not in the game at all. They put him in for like 1 second. And I'm just like, why would you not use the best character in the franchise? Why would you do that? And they put in all these other characters. You're like, oh, great. Who cares? Like, I don't know. It's just, anyway, I don't want to go red. I feel bad. You guys are like, I didn't play these games. Stop talking about these games.
reminds me of the quit having fun meme.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this game was too successful. Y'all need to chill out with that. We just need something regular, something to appeal to the masses. Call it good.
Yeah. I mean, the gameplay was, the graphics were good. The gameplay was good. But,
it just goes back to the whole, like, if it's not broken, don't fix it, you know. 1 and 2, like 2 sold millions of copies. You got platinum, greatest hits version. Like, why change the formula, you know?
Oh, it's like bands who do that. Like, yeah, like a band, they'll have like 2 or 3 albums that are popular and they all sound the same. And then they'll be like, we've decided to completely change everything. We fired all the members, we replaced everybody, and now our new album sounds completely different. And you're just like, oh, well,
give me like Avenged Sevenfold vibes. They put out a pop album. They're like a heavy metal band.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't them.
that happens. Every single metal band on earth does that. So every single metal band comes out with they're really heavy to start because they're metal and they're young and they're angry, and they build their whole their fan base off of that. And then they get pretty popular. And then what happens is they reach a saturation point of how many people will listen to that. That's super heavy metal. There's only a small percentage of people who will listen to people who scream at all. That's a very small percentage right off the bat. You've lost like 80% of the human beings on the planet once you start screaming. That's just a no-no.
Yeah.
That's just a no-no for literally for tons of people. They'll rock out. They'll love everything about it. As soon as they hear someone screaming, they don't want to listen to it anymore, and that's fine. It just is what it is. It's like an acquired taste. It's not something that you would naturally like. It's like whiskey. The first time you take whiskey, you're like, why is this burning my face? Yeah, why would you ever drink this? But like after a while, you're like, ooh, I kind of like how it burns. That's what screaming is like. At first, it's like abrasive, but after a while, you kind of like it. I don't know how else to explain it.
I like it too. I realized I was streaming last night and I was listening to Screamo, and there's probably people were probably like leaving the stream because I was listening to Screamo music and singing along with it too.
It's like, are you okay?
Well, you can't scream.
Is everything fine?
It was just like a random playlist. So like every second song would be like Britney Spears or something.
That is not screamo.
Human nature. It was like 90s, early 2000s, and that was it. But it was my music.
So anyway, like that's where was I going with all this? Talking about my dog distracted me. Get out of here, puppy. So yeah, the music's where's I going with that? Shoot, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
That
doesn't matter.
I think that's time to move on to
the pickups. Yeah, that's
the
about
week.
right. That's where we were gonna go with anyway in a minute. I had a point I was going with there. Dang it. Oh yeah, with metal bands. That's where I was going. Let me just finish my point. Once you reach that saturation point, you have to like make a pop album to see if you can become more popular. You're like,
I had a point to make too.
Yeah. So then so that's why they released.
Right. We had a conversation.
That's why they released their pop album, because they've reached that saturation point. So they're like, let's start singing and we'll write catchy music. And so they do that, and then what happens is it's okay, but it's not really like it doesn't make them popular enough where it was worth it, and they actually piss off like half their fans when they do that. So they lose fans. And they go, well, that didn't work. And then they go back to what they used to do. So that's what happens with every metal band. Every single one does that. They go from really heavy. They try to get poppy. It doesn't work out. So they go, screw it. And they go back to being really heavy.
We'll go back to Avenged Sevenfold. The lead singer learned the piano. So the whole inspiration was he wanted to like play the piano on an album, as he's just been playing it and practicing and practicing and practicing. And it was a cool album, but it fucking wasn't them. And like
just
the
do
fans
it,
hated it,
solo
but all these other people loved it, so it was really weird. They had like some cool songs on there. So.
Cool. All right, good.
Who would like to go first?
I'm glad we wrapped that up, and I didn't look like a total crazy person. I'll go first if you guys want. How's that sound? Yeah, let's do it. All right. So I got a lot of neat stuff here. So the first thing I got is Spyro. And you're like, why did you buy Spyro? I already own Spyro, but I don't know if you guys realize this, but the first batch of this game did not have like all the content on the disc. You had to, there was like a download code that you needed to use to get it. But then they did a reprint of this. And I have the disc in my PlayStation, damn it. But on the disc where the copyright is, if it says just 2018 on it, that's the one that requires a download. But if it says 2018, 2019, that's the updated version that has all the content on the disc. So you don't need the download code. And then also, I haven't 100% confirmed this, but for me, it was correct, is that I was told that this version, if you buy it, comes with this crash nitro fueled little thingy in it. And the regular 2018 one does not. So that's like another way you can kind of tell them apart. But if you're like a crazy person like me and you want like the most up-to-date version of the game that doesn't require a download in case they shut the servers down in 20 years or whatever, and you want to play Spyro, that's what this is. And it's pretty cheap. But you just got to like go on eBay and like look at the discs and try to find the disc with the right years on it. And then I would recommend messaging the person, which is what I did. And I was like, is that the actual disc that you were going to mail me? I do not.
Someone else's listing,
dude. I'm so sick of that. Like, I ordered a copy of Gran Turismo, and the picture's like this beautiful game with no damage, and it shows up. It's got a big sticker on it, a huge crack in the case. I'm like, this isn't the same game, dude, at all. He's like, well, whatever. I'm like, no, go to hell, dude. Don't use photos of things that you're not selling. Wow.
Just on that Spyro game, there is a version that's like a double pack with the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. That's like a fortune, but it's like all on the disc as well. So like that's the one that I'm trying to pick up.
So I have the double pack, but mine's not the one with all the content. So what I'm actually yeah, it's right here. It's this like sleeve or whatever. This thing. But mine doesn't have.
No, the Australian one's different to that. It might be different again. It might be a different Crash game. It might be Crash Nitro Kart. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know. I'm not sure. All I know is I'm going to take the crappy copy out of this, and I'm going to put my super cool copy in with this, and then I'll just that's what my plan is. So I don't. So do you remember when we had RGT on? Obviously, yeah. And we had hazardous game collecting on before that. Well, like it keeps coming. Racing games keep coming up. I don't know how we kept talking about racing games. Collective Game. I'm not Collective Game. That's you. Hazardous Gaming. He was really into the racing games, and I don't know, just kind of like lit a fire under my ass. And I've been playing tons of racing games lately, so I decided just to order a bunch of like cheaper racing games, PS1 games. So I got Gran Turismo, which I told you showed up all fucked up, so I had to return it. But I got Gran Turismo 2.
Nice. You'd
think I own these games, but I don't. So I had them on my Steam Deck, but I didn't actually own like nice, clean copies of these. So I went out and got some clean copies. At least I tried to. The first one was broken, but this one looks good. So that was the first.
These are just essentials to any PlayStation collection.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where I was actually surprised. I had to go check. I'm like, I must have Gran Turismo, right? And I was like, holy crap, I don't have either one. I figured I'd have like one at least, maybe not two. That's what I thought, but I didn't have either. So
I went to order the last variant of the last Gran Turismo game I needed last night. It's like a prologue to Gran Turismo 4. It was like some weird edition that, yeah, but there is a release to it. It's like $15, you know, it's not expensive or anything. Mm-hmm. But then I have all of them.
That's one of the reasons I like really like racing games still, is because it's like one of the few genres where I really enjoy them. Like, I love the games. I think they're super fun, and they're actually affordable. They're not crazy expensive. So, like, you know, it was like $20 for this. I picked up these 3 for $20. I got Test Drive 5, Test Drive 4, and Test Drive Off-Road 2. Nice. And these are in nice shape. Really clean. I'm happy, man. These aren't, you know, the greatest games in the world or whatever, but they're fun. You know, if basically the way I look at it, if you like one PS1 racing game, you'll pretty much like all of them because they're pretty much all the same vibe. You know what I mean? If you can handle that polygonal type of graphics and the little stuttering frame rates and all that shit, and you have a good time with it, you'll have fun. The only thing is, it's like the handling of some of the games are a little weird. You know what I mean? It's like the cars don't feel like super.
Oh, a lot of them were designed without the analog sticks. So
yeah, you have to use the D-pad,
left and right. Mm-hmm. You know,
correct. So you have to do a lot of the tap, stirring, like you're like when you stare.
That's how driving is in real life.
That's exactly how I do it. I go. I even make that noise. So this one was pretty cool. I ordered this a million years ago. This is the Gunlord X limited edition for PS4. So this game is like a spiritual successor to Turrican, if you've ever played the Turrican games, if you're familiar. Yep. This is very, very similar to that style game. This is made by the company NG Dev, and like they're pretty interesting because they sell their games directly from their website, ngdev.com. Like, they don't sell these on Amazon or Best Buy or whatever. You have to order them directly from them, from the developer. And so they usually sell out pretty quick. And I had this on the Switch, but I had to pick this up on the PS4, and I even got the limited edition just because it's, I don't know, pretty cool. And I got 224 out of 500.
Looks like cool. A big box.
It's pretty big. Yeah. For me, and it's about the size of one of those Play Asia boxes, if you're familiar with
I guess you do like big boxes then.
very similar. I try not really, but like so this is about as collector's edition-y as I like to get. It's just like a little bit bigger, maybe comes with a CD and a manual or something, maybe a map. I'm down with that. Maybe a keychain, perhaps.
I got a complaint. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have PS4 on the spine. The low print companies do that. Where retail releases will say, even look at your Baldur's Gate, it's got PS5 around the top. I don't like that, and that's why I won't buy those type of things.
It is kind of a bummer. I didn't realize that would be like that. Maybe this isn't. Maybe this is the Switch version of that line.
Yeah, you know, like
imagine that I open it up in like fucking 20 years. I'm like, sons of bitches.
It's just a PC version, even worse.
It's just a digital download code and a big heavy rock. You fuckers. So
you're the only customer to know. It took 20 years. That's the Easter egg. You don't actually get a game, you get a rock.
I got done dirty like that by Sony. I bought the collector's edition of what's that game? The girl with the red hair. She rides like
Horizon.
She fights. Yes.
Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever.
One. Yeah, I bought I think it's the Regalia one, so like the big black box, and it's got like the big giant elephant in it, and it's a digital code. Like there's a steelbook and all sorts of stuff with it, and they put a digital code in there.
Dude,
best collector's editions these days are jokes.
I'm like, this is ridiculous.
A steelbook without the game is just such a kick in the nuts, dude.
Right?
And hang on, and there's a slot for the game in the steelbook.
Yeah, that's it's like.
Yes.
Let's put a slot for the disc in here, just in case. Like,
insane.
So, you guys, I remember I posted in the chat about limited run games was selling, or I think I talked about this on the show. They had like a merch sale, but they had some sleeves on sale. Remember I told you about that? Well, this is making me very, very, very happy because I got the Master Blaster Zero sleeve.
Ooh.
That holds all three of the Blaster Master Zero games that came out on the Switch.
Nice.
So I had all three of these games forever. And I never knew at the time when I was ordering these that this slip cover existed. I didn't know this was a thing. And so, of course, after I had owned all three of them, I found out about the slipcover, and I was like, oh, I'll just pick one up on eBay. Surely they won't be. God damn it, they're like $50. So it was like $50, $60, $70, $80 to get one of these stupid sleeves. So I was like, nah, forget it. I'm never getting this thing. I give up. I'm not even going to waste my time. And then the limited run games had like this random merch sale. And I was like, yeah, I'll look through it. Because they had cool Castlevania hats when they were doing the Castlevania stuff. So I've always checked to see if they have those for sale again because I really want one. I wish I'd bought one. I'm so dumb. Anyway, they didn't have those, but they did have a bunch of sleeves on sale, and they had this sleeve on there for $9.99. And I couldn't buy something faster in my life because I've been wanting this thing for like a year, and I just couldn't. I'm not paying $50 for the sleeve. Like I just couldn't do it. Like I'm an irresponsible person, but I can't be that responsible. It's just so stupid. So anyway, $9.99. I got my cool little sleeve. I'm very happy about that. They also had these card collection holders on sale. This was like $2 or something. And like I have like not a super ton, but I have like pretty much a full book's worth of these cards. So I was like, hell yeah, let's go. So I grabbed one of these. Like I said, they were like $2. And now I have something neat to hold on my limited run cards. Why not? Before I just had them in a little box with my Star Trek cards. So this is cooler. Now, and it was funny is I kind of want to complete my Star Trek card collection too, now that I unearthed that. So I pick up I've been buying a lot of boomer shooters and stuff like that. And this isn't really a boomer shooter, but I did want to pick this up. This is the Red Faction on PS4. This is a re-release of the PS2 game on the PS4. Got by limited run. And just happy to have that in the collection. A couple more things. All right, so these are very exciting. So, randomly, a few weeks ago, San Diego Comic-Con was happening, and Limited Run made a post that they had some, Comic-Con exclusives that they were going to have there. And like I was jokingly, like in our chat that we have, I was like, anybody going to that? All you cool cats, all you guests who come on who live around there, anybody going? And it turned out Smash GT was going. And he talked to Reggie and got it all worked out and got Reggie some games. And he was nice enough to get these for me. And oh my God, I'm so freaking excited. He got me the holographic Comic-Con exclusives for Persona 4. So it's kind of hard to see, but you see how they're like kind of rainbowy reflectively or whatever.
Let's go.
Yeah, so it's like the holographic or whatever version of it for both of these. And it looks, you can't really tell. You know what they look really sick, dude, is the spines when you're like, oh man, this looks, you can't see in this light, but they like glow on the shelf, bro.
You can tell them the Persona 3, you can't tell them the 4.
Yeah, you can see the rainbow every once in a while. Yeah. So these are Comic-Con exclusive versions of these. And I'm never opening these. They're just gonna go in my collection. This one's pretty cool too. I got 46, low number. Pretty happy about that.
Limited run number of their games since when?
I don't know. Maybe these comic exclusive ones. Whatever. So this is 46, and this one is 216. Whatever.
Nice.
But yeah,
being in the booth. I need the same numbers, please.
Yeah. The same numbers.
You know what your customer base is like. Don't tell me you mixed them up.
But guess what? You want to know a funny fact though? Guess which games also came out with a fucking sleeve, and I didn't order it. These motherfuckers. So just like this brutal thing, they have a sleeve that holds both of these, and like now I gotta find that.
It's funny. I'm trying to buy both of them, and you can almost buy both of them with the sleeve for the same price. So, and I need to send them to you. So maybe I'll work something out with you, Joe. I'll buy like the sleeve version, and
and then I'll be like, oh man, that sleeve didn't show up.
I don't want the sleeve because it doesn't fit on my shelves. Like I don't like those sleeves. I don't want it. So we can work something out here. Yeah. I'll buy it, and you can chip in like $20 or something. And
that's plan sucks all of a sudden. No, I'm just kidding. That's fine. All right. I'm almost done. All right. So the other thing they had on sale, which they had these for $20, $19.99. So I grabbed 2 of these. Just because, who doesn't want wireless Sega Saturn controllers for $20? Let's go. So my new PC here's got Bluetooth built into them, so I can just emulate with this thing, or I can hook it up with my Steam Deck. Very excited about that.
Nice.
And I got this thing here, which is what pretty much everybody and their mother got, but I got the Japanese version. And this thing's big enough where I feel like this is warranted. So,
Joe, and I quote, I don't like going for big things.
I know, and I have all these giant freaking things.
But I share the big version I got.
So there's a reason. So the only reason I got this giant ass version is because this is the Japanese version came with 2 Famicom controllers. So it has the 2 wireless controllers with it. And I didn't have any of the Nintendo controllers, so I was like, hell yeah. So I grabbed this one. But it is kind of big, and I don't need it. But it's nice. It comes with like really cool pins and stuff like that. And it's really nice. It's a nice collection. And the game's super fun. I played it like all day yesterday with my buddy, and we had a blast.
Nice.
All right, and this is my last one. I was hoping Reggie would be here for this one because me and him talk about this game all the time, and I've been trying to get this for like forever. And it's fucking expensive, and I just patiently waited and 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 waited, and finally someone put one up for a reasonable price. So I got this for $55, and this is the cheapest I've seen it in like years. and that is Time Spinner.
Cool.
Now, most people are like, what the fuck's Time Spinner? I don't care. It's like a 2D action game, like I would say like a Castlevania style. But it's got like
magic on the front.
It's got really gorgeous pixel graphics. Like it's just really, really, really nice graphics, dude. And yeah, I've just heard nothing but fantastic things about this game. I wanted it forever. It was one of those games where like it like slipped through the radar. By the time I find out about it, it was a limited run release that is already like really expensive. Like one of those situations where you're like, oh, what's this game? Oh, $300, crap. So like this one goes for like used. It's like normally I'd say like 80 to 100 ish. New, it's like 100 to 150. I've seen it for. Some people even some people are asking like $200-$300 for it. I doubt it sells for that, but there are crazy people asking that. But yeah, I am very, very excited to have this in the collection. I've been waiting for this forever. So yeah, Time Spinner. Very cool.
Nice.
And that's everything. Who wants to go next?
Well, I had a pretty wild week. Like compared to last week when I only had one pickup, this is like 6 months worth of stuff. So,
well, we have 3 episodes this week if you want to split it up.
No, I want to put it in the shelves finally. I leave my pickups here and show them and then put them away. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the show this week because I've got like 50 games sitting here. But I won't be too slow with them. So this first slot for Video Games Plus. When I first moved down here, I did a big order with them and stuff that I've been after for a while. Basically, after seeing Joe pick up all these awesome things. As I already showed this off, this is the Final Fantasy collection that I was super excited to finally own because it wasn't getting reprinted, of course.
It's the perfect time to get it.
Well, the cool thing is I will probably open a copy now and play it. So,
yeah,
you know.
That's that same thing I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to keep my PS4 copy sealed and play my Asian Switch.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, I got 2, I'll open one now. Sweet. And then I'll play them and then sell a copy later on. You know, I'll make it work for me. This is the reason my order took like 3 months to get here, was because I didn't realize this is on back order when I did my order, and it is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna. This was $49. It goes for a lot more on eBay, so I'm pretty happy to have it for retail price. It has got an Australian release, but it's like $200. So unless I can find one in the wild one day, I'll we'll get to that soon. Speaker. Next we have Raiden 30th Anniversary Edition.
It's good stuff right there.
Yeah, just knocked out a bunch of really exciting ones. Oh, this one's pretry exciting. Mary Skelter 2.
Yep.
I recently picked up the first one, so I had to get the second one as well. Now this was easy to choose because there was only 4 variants. So I got the Castlevania Advanced Collection. I like this one. I think it's cool. Look at the hand. It sort of goes with the spine and it's all one picture. So I think that's kind of really cool. And I don't need all 4 variants, so I'm happy to have one. Here's one that used to be an expensive game. I didn't realize this has been reprinted and it's now cheap, but I picked it up because I wanted it for the memes. Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a massive Dark Souls fan. I had to have this.
Yeah, that's just.
I heard it's
brutal platformer, right?
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty decent too. So, next we have Hakune Miku.
Oh, now we're talking.
VR.
Hatsune
I have
Miku.
every Hatsune Miku game, so I had to get this one as well.
Bro, I unironically love Hatsune Miku. I don't give a F.
Yeah, me too. I've listened to her soundtrack and I enjoy it.
Dude, I am obsessed with rhythm games, and I will rock out to that shit anytime.
This next one's cool. I wanted this as soon as I heard it was released. This is the Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 Deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a YouTuber who got big enough that they made a video game, and yeah. So you made him up and everything.
Everybody knows. Everyone in the US knows AVGN.
Yeah.
Sure. I feel like he was the godfather of retro YouTubing in a way. Like I really
is.
He was one of the first.
Yeah, one
absolute
of them
pioneers.
like Metal Jesus, and
So Metal
John
Jesus was the
Hancock
first like dedicated collecting channel. I feel like AVGN was more of like a review channel who just happened to have a crazy collection. But like I don't know about I can't speak for other people, but when the first time I saw an AVGN video and I saw his room full of games, I was like, that is what I need in my life. Like immediately I was like, why am I not collecting all those games that I used to play when I was a kid? Why am I not doing this? Like it lit a fire under my ass, like immediately.
Well, the final one from Video Game Plus is one that I got off Joe's recommendations. Talked about it on the show a few times, and it was pretty cheap. It's Jets and Guns 2 from Red Art Games. It looks super cool. Comes with the PS5 upgrade. It's cool shoot 'em up. So
It's all right.
happy to have this
It's
one
hard.
in the collection. All right, now we move on to the next pile. So on Tuesday this week, I decided to go to Melbourne. It's like an hour away, and I decided to film the whole day, make it like a video game hunting video like I used to do. And I Googled a bunch of stores and planned out my trip. And I planned out like a trip to IKEA as well. And when I went to IKEA, I bought a new glass shelf, which is just over here, but I uploaded some photos of it. I put my Pokemon collection in there. So the Pokemon collection is now in a glass shelf that opens. It's really cool. Here's the side of it. We're closing in on a full set of every Australian Pokemon game. I think there's 17 left, not including what's coming in the mail. So yeah, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Considering there's like 50 games in that shelf, we're getting there. But yeah, the trip to Melbourne was pretty crazy. First one, I went to a Harvey Norman shop. I got this for $45, which is like $30 US. You can't really say no to Metroid Prime Remastered for like half price of retail. So happy to have this one.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
Too. I only got stuck about 3,000 times. Yeah.
I went to this little shop, and it was just a retro game shop. Like that was it. I looked at photos, and they didn't really say much. They didn't have any social media. I had no idea if they even were going to be there. I drove past, and they were there. Found a spot like 200 meters away. Went in. I kid you not, like 5,000 plus video games in this one room. Like my jaw just dropped. And I'm talking not modern games, like a PS1 shelf, a PS2 shelf, a Nintendo 64 box shelf, a Game Boy shelf, like everything. And I've been in shops like this before, but never in Australia. Like I've been in shops like this in America and Canada, but never in Australia. These are all Australian games. And I'm just like, a lady let me film in there, and I'll have a lot of content going up later. And then she showed me a second room out the back, which was like full of all holy grails and stuff. Well, I wasn't allowed to film in there, but it was like PS1 games that started at $100 and PS2 games that started at $200 and all started at $100. Yeah, it was so cool. So it's probably like 10,000 games in this shop. Now the reason behind that is the prices were pretty high. They were above eBay prices. So I didn't like, I was, I need this. Oh, not for that price. I need this, not for that price. But I did buy some rare stuff, which isn't on eBay. I've been looking for years.
Stuff you're willing to pay the premium for.
Yeah. First one is the Wall-E slipcover. Now, there is a normal slipcover in Australia it's not common to find these days. It's probably like $40. But this one's got a lenticular cover on the front that was only released in Target, and this one is very hard to find. It's a super cool. I'm very happy to have this. And then this next one I've seen like 5 times in my life. I actually have one in the room for Clean. He found one on eBay and it's going to him, but this is very rare. Like even only got released in Australia, and like amongst us Australian collectors, we all know it is one of the rarest pieces. And there is a cool story behind it, which I'll tell you in a second. So this is the Toy Story 3 limited edition, which comes with the game and the 3 movies, which is super cool in this big box like this. Now, this particular version, one of my buddies seen a YouTube video like 5 years ago of this store, and in the video was this edition, and he emailed them and said, "Hey, I want to buy that," and they like never replied to his emails. This is literally that copy.
That's hilarious.
And I told him that, and he's like, "Oh, well, it's got a story behind it."
And he's like, I called dibs on that. That's mine. Sorry, bro.
I'm very happy to have that because it's just something that you go on eBay. There's been one sale in the last 2 years. You know, it's something like that rare.
Yeah.
And I also picked up Metal Slug
nice.
5 from the shop. I was
hell
happy to
yeah.
have this in the collection.
Always.
It was eBay price, but I wanted to buy some stuff, so I bought that as well. Then my day just started. Like, it got crazier after that. So the next place I went to, I didn't really know what it was. I just Googled video game shops, and then this place popped up. I went to the address, and it was this massive warehouse. Like, I'm talking like a Costco warehouse, or like, if you're in Australia, like a Bunnings type warehouse. And I had no idea what to expect when I walked in. And if you ever watched the YouTube channel like Froggy Flips or something like that, what it was is you go into this warehouse and there's like 300 stores, and every single store was set up, and there wasn't a shop owner. It was just set up and left. And it had like a number on the front of the store, and you go in there and have a look. And if you find something you want, you go to the front counter and take the employee with you to that certain store and grab the stuff. So in there, every single store is different. They're all like collectibles. We're talking like video games, cards, music, antiques, coins, jewelry, like anything you can think of that is like collectible. It was in this place. So I'm like, all right, let's hunt for video games. So I found video games in like 30 different shops. Like, every shop had like, oh, there's one there, there's one here. But there was some like video game specific stores, and they had decent prices too, like below eBay prices. So I got a ton of stuff. So we'll start with this pile here. We have Mario Party Island Tour for the 3DS. This is like $9.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U. Now, this one's cool. Time Splitters 2. I actually own this, and my copy had like a stain on the spine, which annoyed me because all the Power Games are white. And I sold it for like $45, and then I rebought it for $20. So that was pretty cool.
Nice. That's always good. You see your crappier
Yeah.
version for more money.
And it was like 2 months ago that I sold it too. So I'm like, oh, sweet.
That's awesome.
This was $4. No, I grabbed it. Super Fruitful. Looked kind of cool.
Game of the year right there.
Actually, these were from another store. So. I got a ton of PlayStation 1 games, which you guys know I love PS1 games. They're all complete in very good condition. So we have MTV Snowboarding. Never seen this one before. But
that guy looks so awesome. That is 90s as hell.
This one was 30. eBay copies are between 40 and 60, but this is like a minty, complete black label copy. Destruction Derby 2. So I'm happy to have this one in the collection. I played it back in the day. It's a great game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sold mine because it was in crappy condition. I need to get another one of those.
Actually, got lots of car racing. I wouldn't say racing game, but car games in here.
Yeah.
Here's one that this is 20. It's like 40 to 50 online, which is kind of crazy. I'm gonna try it. It must be decent. It's called Burning Road. And then what car games are like $50 unless they're good, right? So I'm gonna give this a go. You have Austin Powers Pinball.
There we go.
Yeah, baby.
This is like $5.
Yeah, baby.
Here we have Ronin Blade.
Never even heard of that game.
Yeah, that looks
No, it looks good, but though.
That's intriguing to me. It
Looks like a
it's
Ninja
a Konami game,
Warrior
It's
type
a
game or something.
Ninja themed game. That
Yeah.
that didn't come out over here, did it? I've never heard of that game before.
I'll give that one a go and I'll get back to you. Here we have The Lion King, Simba's Mighty Adventure.
All the Disney games are fun on PS1.
Did I say Simba's Naughty Adventure?
Mighty Adventure.
Oh my god.
Simba's Naughty Adventure, Disney.
Yeah, baby.
Sure, go free. This is
What are
$5.
you doing to that grub worm?
This
George
one's surprisingly
Michael
expensive. The sequel's a Phoenix game, so that might explain why, but this is Checkmate. And the final PS1 game is Stuart Little 2.
No way.
I love the late 90s. Throw him on a skateboard. That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I kid you not, when I say my day actually got crazier, if you can believe that. I had like an hour and a half left until 5 o'clock when the shop shut. So I'm driving out of Melbourne. Like, I want to hit a couple more shops. And I looked up cash converters because I used to always go to cash converters and get some good games. So I walked into this one cash converters like 4:30, and I go to walk up to the counter, and the guy looks at me and goes, "Figsy." Recognize me. So that was cool. Been watching me on YouTube for a bunch of years. So yeah, that happened. Gave me a good discount at Cashew, so I picked up a bunch of games there, filmed it. He got in the video and everything. Like, absolutely made my day. Picked up Onimushu, Dawn of Dreams.
Nice. I love that series. It's one of my
Yeah,
favorite
like they're all eBay prices, but he gave me a really good discount, so it was almost like half price.
That's one of the harder ones to find.
I can't believe they only released the first one on Switch and like modern consoles. They never released the second one. And that's like the best one.
Or the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, you know.
I would at least
or the fighting
the
game.
first three, because those are like the four that one is like it's like the first three are tank controls with the fixed cameras and stuff. And that fourth one was like an actual free roaming like action game, third person. So it's a great game, but it's like a little different. I don't know that game. Those are like Resident Evil with swords and samurais. It's so good. Did you not like it? It's so good.
You don't see games like that anymore.
Oh,
and then the next one is actually a PS5 game, but I will play this and I probably resell it later. So I think this came out to be like 30 Australian dollars, and it's kind of like 60 to 70 in the shops here still. So it's Lords of the Fallen Deluxe Edition. I actually played this on PS4, like when it first came out. I finished it and I didn't hate it. Everyone hated it. Apparently this is like a really good remake of it, so I'm kind of excited to give this a go.
Yeah, it's like a Dark Souls type game.
And then I've got more. This is like one of the craziest weeks ever. So as you guys know, I'm going for all the Pokemon games right now. So we had a bunch of Pokemon games arrive this week. Most of these are from a Facebook pickup. So they're like well below eBay prices. I got some very good deals and the conditions are really good. So firstly, we have Pokemon Conquest, which is like the, is it Surge games? The spin-off titles of the Pokemon games. This one's quite expensive. I paid $150 for it. It goes for like $200, so happy to have it in the collection.
Freaking Pokemon. Jeez, I'm so glad I'm not into Pokemon.
That was the first one. We're working our way up, Joe.
Bro, I know. I'm like, that's a spin-off game that I've never heard of. That's like Pokemon freaking Mama's Kitchen is worth $300. I'm like, what's going on here?
Here we have Pokemon Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 of these. I've got 2 of them. The third one's like a $300 game, so try and find a good price on that eventually. These next 2, so I sort of made rules of all the games. I've put in prices on what I want to pay for everything, and I'm kind of like dealing around, looking for best conditions and trying to not overpay on anything. I got these for $850 together. I wanted to pay $450 each, so I ended up getting them a little bit cheaper than what I wanted to get. I'll just show them one at a time. So we've got Pokemon Soul Silver. This is in the box with the Pokewalker. And these boxes are like acrylic boxes. The guy I bought them off actually makes these cases, so he included them with, which is really cool.
That's in beautiful condition, sir.
These alone go for like $500 plus in Australia, and this one in particular is in like perfect condition.
You can tell. That is very nice.
And of course, Heart Gold. They go hand in hand.
I love the reflective boxes, like the paint on it. That's really
great.
pretty.
This one has the littlest tear here, but apart from that, it's in perfect condition as well.
Nope. Knock off 500. It's only worth $1 now.
But I'm saving the best for last. Now, I mentioned last week I got a deal on the rarest Australian Pokemon game, and I believe this is the rarest game. Recent eBay sales is one. There's no copies listed. There's one sale, and it was $1,000. And it isn't in the condition that mine's in. Mine's in much better condition than this one. So here we have Pokemon Puzzle Challenge for the Game Boy Color Australian version, and this is in like immaculate condition.
Yeah, it really is, which is just impressive for any of a
Beautiful.
Game Boy or
It does
Game
have
Boy Color
the
game.
original sticker on it, but I like when you have these games, almost having the original stickers
I
almost
think you should have gone
like
last.
a good
by the way.
thing.
I didn't know he's gonna pull out freaking $500 games.
It'd be hard to put a price on this one, but it's staying in my little box.
Oh yeah,
so
but does
then
it have a
it'll be in this
sleeve,
little
bitch?
case. And it's complete as well, and the game itself is still in the plastic, which is like absolutely insane.
That's really cool, man. Congratulations.
But that's all I've got for the week, guys.
Is that it? Scrub? Jesus, man. Firm, you better have like $5,000 games.
Do you see this up here? I have
This key I
Pokemon
got.
games too, okay?
Get any recent pickups you want to show off or anything?
Yes. This is, well, these are like kind of like some new games that I bought, and then also one that came in the mail. I'll start with the one that came in the mail because I mean this one's really cool. But yeah, I got a chance to get this bad boy, and I wanted to get the big one, the one with the briefcase and all that, but it was just too much. So I settled for this one. This one's good enough, and you know, I have a digital, so I'm probably not going to open this bad boy up. But yeah, got this lovely guy. Let's see.
One of those things that you can't play. I don't know. Hang on, did they re-release the digital version?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was going to say you can't just play it digital because it's been taken down. I didn't realize it was on PS4 and Switch Store as well.
Well, I do have it on PS3 digital, and also, you know,
that's what I'm talking about.
yeah. I got my PS3 plugged in still, so that bad boy gets some. And yeah, I also picked this guy up.
Yes, let's go.
And I've kind of been obsessed with this game. I'm not gonna lie. And also, I bought this thing called the Polymega. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's really cool. And you literally just pop in the game, download it, and yeah, it's just stored on it. So I've been playing the heck out of this thing. And I mean, just a top-notch game. You know, graphics, soundtrack, top tier.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with this one.
I'd say that's, you know, PS1, that's in the top 5 for sure. Of all the games in the PS.
Joe, you showed Gran Turismo. Like Castlevania is a must-own for a collection.
Correct.
Every other night, 100%.
Yeah, I actually want to get, because you know they have the Requiem of Blood. I think that's what it's called, the PS4 one.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that they had a physical version, so I'm on the hunt for that right now. But yeah,
you can still get it for a reasonable price. Like I expected that one to go up like instantly once people realized that. Hang on, that's got Symphony of the Night and it's on PS4.
Yes. Yeah, and Rondo of Blood. I have an extra.
I'm not gonna lie.
PS4.
Oh,
if you ever need it. Yeah. We can work something if you want. I just bought it. I bought it for trade. So
nice.
I figured that would just be it would just go up in value, and someday I'd be able to trade something for it.
You know, for a long time, I always thought that Symphony of the Night was the best Castlevania, but man, I kind of fell in love with Rondo of Blood. That game is so good. It's so hard. Like, it is painfully hard, but man, that game is it's a masterpiece.
It's really good.
Yes.
I played it on PSP. I think I was Dracula X or some shit. I don't remember. I think I played that on PSP.
Yeah. Oh, that was like the bad version of it.
Yeah.
It was 3D, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was gross.
D Street loves your shirt, by the way.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You know, well, I had to wear it. You know, I had to wear something that's connected to PlayStation, right?
Represent. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, this one's next. I'm pretty sure I bought this at one of our retro stores locally, and I think they wanted like $200 for it or something like that. But I was able to talk them down out of it a little bit, and also, you know, trade-ins help a lot. So yeah, and I think it's got everything in it. So
does it have the map or whatever? Should have some
cloth,
like a cloth map or some shit like that. I thought.
Oh, I don't think it has that.
Yeah, I don't know. I found out there's different variants for that. Did you know that? Pigsy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's like a fire cover or something they call it. Like it's like a red-orange cover version. I didn't realize it, but I guess there's more than one version of that.
The PAL version doesn't have the big case. It's just the little ones. So we didn't get a map or anything.
But that
you know,
one's
when
the
you
more
asked
valuable
Fernham
one,
to
though.
bring it, he's starting to really bring it with the pickups.
Yeah. This one I bought like in 2020, and it was just because I love this game from back then, even though everyone hates it. But yeah, Alundra 2. Everyone hates this game basically because of the first one.
You can't have the first one without the second. That's how it is.
Yeah, yeah. So I had to get that one, and I absolutely love the game. I mean, it's hideous. The voice acting is really anime like, kind of like 90s anime, so it's really good. I enjoy it. And but it is a little heartbreaking because I chose this in the 90s. Me and my brother chose this over Lunar. Which is insane. Like I've talked
I don't
to
know
so
if
many
I'd make
people
that
about
choice.
that. Yeah.
It is
I
what
talked
it
to so many
is.
people about it, and they were like, "You're insane. You're a crazy person." But yeah, I bought that. I still haven't beat it, but I bought a walkthrough. So
that's not
like
a bad
actual
game.
physical one.
But back in the day, you didn't have YouTube videos. You had the pictures on the front cover, and that was it.
Yeah, I'm like, man, this looks sick. I want that.
I feel like Alundra 2 only gets criticism just because Alundra 1 is so fucking good. It's not that Alundra 2 is a bad game. It's just that Alundra 1 is like a better game and it's different. So people are just like, oh, 2 sucks because it's not as good as 1. It's like a lot of people feel about Zelda 2 on the NES. Like a lot of people are like, oh, it's different from the first one. I hate Zelda 2. But there's a lot of people who are like, dude, screw you. Zelda 2, that's the best game in the franchise. I love Zelda 2.
It's
Dark
kind of
Souls
like
2 didn't have Dark Souls in front of it. It would be a great game. Like people would talk about it like it's a great game.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you, that's exactly perfect. Yep.
It's kind of like
that
when
it was bad.
Screamo bands go pop, you know?
Yeah, exactly. We're bringing it back.
Yes.
Yep.
Full circle.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
All right. Next one is Beyond the Beyond. Now, this game is a really cool game. I didn't even know, but I just found out about it a few years ago that apparently the guys that made Golden Sun made this game first. And so it kind of plays and fights the same way. So, yeah, super cool game.
Yeah, that's one of the few RPGs I do not own, actually. I need to pick that up.
Oh, yeah, you should definitely.
Yeah,
it looks really good, too.
And, gosh, what was the other one? There's another weird one I don't own. Oh, yeah, I need Azure Skies, too. God, I could pick that up, too. Azure Dreams, excuse me.
Now, this one is...
Hey, third birthday.
A third birthday, nice.
We're such nerds. We're just like, yeah, we like that one. Yeah.
I've never actually played this game, but I remember seeing the shiny holographic cover, and I was like, man, that looks so cool. And then I downloaded it on my Steam Deck, and I was like, oh, this is so hard to play because it plays like, you know, with just the one stick. But it's a really cool game, so yeah, I like this.
That's really a nice one for the collection, for sure.
Yes,
that's a franchise that needs some remaster, rebirth, relove, redoing. Yeah. I would love to see Parasite Eve come back, for sure. I mean, especially that third game.
I don't want it to be a carbon copy of what they're doing with Resident Evil, but man, like they could go that route, and it would be amazing.
I think a lot of people would be down with that.
Yes. Now, actually, let's do the PS2 era stuff. We got this one right here. This is probably like the cleanest game I have. Like it's so minty. Like it's super nice. And
I've been meaning to grab that actually. Looks fun.
Yeah. I almost don't want to play it because I don't want to like ruin the condition it is. It's in, I mean. But yeah, it's so nice. And it's got everything in it. Spawn.
It does look perfect. Looks super clean.
We need some Spawn love. I'm not gonna lie. We need to bring that back.
Oh, so remember when I said I liked Lobo? The other thing I liked was Spawn. I fucking love. So I was into heavy metal and monsters and scary movies and horror themed stuff. So Lobo and Spawn and like, oh yeah, I ate that up, dude. Loved the comic. And I actually, did you ever see the animated series for Spawn they came out with? So good.
Yeah, in the 90s, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude, it is so good.
You know
It's
what's
actually
funny
kind of
is-
disturbing though. So just like the
Oh,
Kincaid
yeah, I
guy,
was-
the ice cream man, disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like Spawn back then because I thought it was super scary. So I was like, oh my
Mhm.
God. But all of the comics and the action figures and stuff like that, just the poses alone were
Mhm.
so insane.
Yep.
I was like, man, this dude looks so cool.
Oh, Todd McFarlane is the man, dude. He's the king of
Yes.
toys. He makes the best figures.
Yep.
And I don't even know
Mhm.
shit about figures. All I know is every time I see a cool one, it's one of his.
All right. We got this guy right here. Full Metal
Nice.
Alchemist. Not exactly a good game, but another one of those, it was in really good condition. And I think this was going for like $40 in 2020. And I got it for like 20. So I was like, yeah, I love Full Metal Alchemist. So why not, right?
Yeah, it's
So-
a win.
I think
Yes.
anime themed games in general hold up pretty well.
Mhm.
It's one of those things that's like they always have a fan base that's like into that. So like your One Piece stuff, like there will always be a fan base for One Piece. You know what I mean? So
Yes. All right, I got 3 more left.
hey,
Yes, player
Nice.
right here. I never got a
I love
chance to
this
beat
game.
this game, but I love the art direction and I love how massive and stupid the sword looks.
Yeah.
Like how you can get it,
It's
especially when
ridiculous.
you turn. It's just like
Mhm.
so. Yeah, this one always made me laugh, man. I just bought.
I
This
never
a few-
finished
a
it,
few
but
months
it
ago.
was a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, it was as cliche like the story was as you can get when it comes to like fantasy games. Big bad guy invades the castle, blah blah blah, etc. etc.
I think it's got a cool format behind the sword though. Like every time you kill someone, it gets bigger and grows. So it's cool.
Mhm. Yes. All right, number 2, the big bad boy right here.
Oh
I got a
yeah,
nice clean copy.
beautiful.
Yeah, this one I found on Facebook Marketplace, and the guy was a little bit tough. He really wanted. I think he was asking for like $250, but I got him down to like $180. So
That's
this was
insane. How expensive
Yeah.
this game's gotten, man.
he just got desperate, and we just ended up doing it. So yeah, I got lucky on that one.
That's sick.
This one, by far takes the cake.
Oh, there you go, bro. Nice clean label too, dude.
Yeah,
That's one I see a lot of
fresh.
people settle for on condition.
Mhm.
They'll have it, but it'll be kind of ratty. That's beautiful. That's a nice clean copy.
Yeah, and same thing. Facebook Marketplace. The guy wanted like $350 or $400 for it, but he was willing to negotiate. So I think we settled on like $100 and a ton of NES games. So
Okay.
It's all about
Yeah.
the
I was gonna
trade,
say
baby.
$100. What?
yeah, $100. I was like, as I was driving away, I was still like in shock. Like I'm like,
Mhm.
holy crap, did I really just do this?
That-
But yeah,
Trading is. I love to trade. That's why That's why I buy extra games. That's why I keep stuff. All about that trade. When you want something expensive, always try to work a trade in. For sure.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention in the video I made, because I made a video a few months back talking about collecting or like trading and collecting tips. But if you have a YouTube channel, like I always post all my videos on Facebook. So every time I trade or sell with somebody, they always look at my Facebook account. I always look at theirs, and they see my YouTube channel, and so they're like, "Dude, you're a YouTuber? Like, what the heck?" So that's one of the best ways to get new subscribers, because most of the time, people that are local, they're always going to want to support you.
That's
Like
cool.
I've never had somebody be like, "Nah, I'm good."
Depends on what type of area you live in, but
Yeah.
That would be unfortunate. Yeah,
I used to live in a rough area. I didn't want people knowing my YouTube.
that's true. Sometimes you're like, no, I don't want everybody to know I have all this
Then you
stuff.
got a YouTube channel.
yeah, exactly. Man,
Take us to
God
where
from
you live.
Legendary Dragoon. That's why, like, when he was like, I went to that store and they wouldn't let me film in the back room. I'm like, that's why. They're like, they don't want footage. They don't want you casing the joint if like all of their expensive stuffs. They don't want you to be able to like, oh yeah, this shelf's got the $500 game. That shelf's got the $1,000. You know what I mean? They don't want that. So,
well, they had a website. I went on the website, and the website doesn't show the back room, which is kind of interesting. So,
I'm not gonna lie.
To do with that.
That kind of makes me want to prank him a little bit. You know, like just walk in there really shifty, like sweaty, and just be like, "Hey, do you mind if I?"
I understand it because the average customer isn't spending hundreds of dollars on games, but
sir, may I have one high ticket item to record, please?
So, where can people find you?
Right there, right under my name, it says the name of the channel, which is The Collective Gaming. It's all one word. I always have to tell people that just because there's other channels that are called The Collective, but you know, last time I checked, they're not as big as mine. So
no, YouTube's dumb like that. You type in Joe Rad, it's like some dude in Montana with 2 subscribers who pops up before me. I'm like, what the heck, man?
I know, right?
That's my name.
I'm actually going to challenge him to a duel to see who can keep the name. We're gonna do like, you know, the American Gladiators joust. The big things. We're gonna do that. Whoever wins gets to keep the name. So in 3 weeks, I'm gonna be called
but you know, that
Joe Loser. You know what happens? What happened? I don't want to talk about it. Well, you got a big bruise. I don't want to talk about it. He was pretty tough.
Joe in Montana's pretty rad, not gonna lie.
Yeah, he was pretty rad.
He walks in with the power glove.
Oh, no, he is super rad. No.
I'm like, oh damn.
Comes in a skateboard. He's like, I was an extra in Gleaming the Cube. I'm like, oh shit. I'm screwed. He is super rad.
Every time he walks in a room, you just hear.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So yeah, if you guys haven't already, please go and subscribe to The Collective Gaming. Like you said, it's all one word. If you try to do it separated, it might not pop up. So you just make sure you do that. That's because that's how YouTube is at first. So, but definitely give him a sub. Like I said, you'll like the content. It's really high quality, dude. I personally think you're going to do very well, and I see you being at like 10,000 subs the next time I talk to you, for real. So
amazing.
And I'll be at like 180. Let's go.
Right.
So yeah,
like 180 subs. I just hit 1 million hours watch time.
You also have a Twitter. Do you have an Instagram or anything? I didn't know if you had an Instagram. I couldn't find it, so I don't know if you do. But
yeah, I do a bad job of like sharing all that stuff, but I make sure to put it under all of my videos. So like all of my social medias are on each video in the description. So
beautiful. And I put in our description, I have your X and your YouTube. So you guys want to click on it, you can go check it out. Figsy is on there as well. As you guys heard, he will be making a triumphant
video
return.
coming out this weekend. So I'm finished setting up my game rooms now. So there'll be game room tour coming out soon. I won't promise a date, but it'll be coming out like within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, a lot of content coming to YouTube. I've been streaming. I streamed 3 times this week over on Twitch. Almost at 3,000 followers on Twitch. So if you're interested in watching me play live, I've been streaming GeoGuessr over there, just grinding ELO, playing Jules, and listening to cool music and hanging out. So if you're not scared of screamo music, feel free to jump over on Twitch. And well, I'll see you guys. We got a lot of shows coming up this week, Joe. Tell us about
that's right. I should probably mention all that. So it's kind of a special week. We usually do one episode every Thursday. But what we're doing is Sunday, we're doing a special episode at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and with Level 857 Gaming, which is like a gaming channel with a group of guys, really cool dudes. They kind of do their own podcast, their own game, talk show about games, podcast, and all that stuff. They're really cool. So they'll be on Sunday. And then
if I don't make it, it's because I ain't waking up at 6 a.m.
No, Figsy ain't going to be here. It's like 5 a.m. his time. Which I don't blame him.
Joe's like, here's the time. I'm like, that doesn't work.
If you woke me up at 5 a.m. to talk about games, you'd get a cranky ass Joe.
I'll take your spot, sir.
Yeah,
Figsy.
More than merry. And then Tuesday, we're doing a special episode with Mystic Ryan. So if you guys are familiar with Mystic, he said he's going to be on Tuesday. So very excited about that. That's going to be a freaking awesome episode. And because of that, we're not going to have an episode next Thursday. I think 3 episodes in like 5 days is enough episodes because like literally I don't have I'm not smart enough to talk about stuff that long. We need a break for some news to happen. And I need time to buy these games. I can't be just every 2 days be like, hey, get another $500 worth of games. That's not how it works. So
only 500.
whatever, Mr. Baller over here. I'm like, get my game for $60. I'm so happy. Binding Isaac is my favorite.
And I showed off my collection for the last year in pickups.
But yeah, if you guys want to sub to all of us, that'd be great. If you want to sub to me, that's cool. I do this show, and then I've been streaming some games too. I did a bunch of Quake 2. I'm playing through Quake 2, and I'm having a blast. So if you want to watch an old boomer play an old boomer game, come on over and hang out sometime. But yeah, I think this was a very great episode. I hope you guys had fun. Firm, thanks for coming on, man. This was excellent. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and I hope everybody has a wonderful evening.
Have a good night, guys.
Later, everybody.
Peace.
You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Season. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather around the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna live the dream, gonna show you